Ian welcomes you to the following presentation of the Southeastern Conference.
The one and only Grove, 10 friendly and festive acres in the heart of the Ole Miss campus. Chilly day, energized evening here. An SEC West elimination game between the Aggies of Texas A&M and the Rebels of Ole Miss. Both teams need help from an Alabama opponent, but if A&M can win out and Alabama loses, they would win the SEC West. Ole Miss needs a couple of losses by Alabama, but they know they have to win this one here tonight. Ole Miss in the alternate light blue uniforms. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit at Holly Road. 39 chilly degrees. Kirk, we got a great feeling though on the field before this game. Both teams seem to have an air of confidence coming in here.
They really do. You know, you get late in the year, you hope to be healthy enough and have something to play for, something at stake. Both these teams do have something to play for, and both are getting healthier, and that's big tonight. We'll talk more about that, especially for Matt Corral and the Ole Miss offense who are going to start the game.
We'll see that Ole Miss offense against this extremely physical and fast A&M defense. The Aggies won the toss and deferred. Caden Davis to boot it away. Darian Ely, one of the fine, speedy tailbacks for Ole Miss, is back deep, takes it from the 2. And Ely wrestled down near the 25. Good news is, Kirk, that Matt Corral's left ankle injury is better than it's been in a few weeks. Not quite 100%, but he'll need to use those legs tonight against this pass rush.
Yeah, it's a big key in the game, and you're right. Matt Corral has limped around the last 4 weeks. It's leading rusher on this team. He's not just a great quarterback, he leads this team in rushing, and to take that away has impacted this offense. They're hopeful against this defensive front that he'll be able to make plays scrambling. That's a big thing, and we'll keep an eye on that leg.
Receivers, Dontario Drummond, Braylon Sanders getting a little bit healthier, but also not 100% with leg injuries. Opening play, wants to throw a screen, ball batted in the air, and quick penetration by Aaron Hansford, the top tackler on this defense.
Well, A&M has practiced all week against an up-tempo approach from Ole Miss. I mean, when they get it going, it's every 8 to 9 seconds they're snapping the ball. It's been a hectic week for Mike Elko and his defense, and they are locked in here early.
Pop pass coming around the edge for Pearson. And he shows some speed, driven out after a nice gain, sets up 3rd and short.
The tough thing against this Ole Miss offense is they're so balanced. You know, you think of Corral in the passing game and the way they spread you out, but they're going to run the ball. Here comes that tempo.
Looking to throw for it in 3rd and short. Catch made by Casey Kelly, the only healthy tight end on the roster, and they get that first down.
Now, week 1 on Labor Day night, I did the Ole Miss Louisville game. You were doing tennis that night, and I just learned real quick, just don't talk. Just sit back and watch and enjoy.
First down, wants a downfield shot down the seam, and the catch is made by Braylon Sanders. Like that, the Rebels are threatening.
The accuracy from Corral, you give him enough time, and he's going to make you pay for it. Really good job of staying with that route.
24-yard gain, looking to throw again, high pass, caught! Drummond, again, not 100%, but fast enough to scare you.
They start hitting a couple passes and getting first downs. Right away, you're on your heels. You're just trying to get lined up how fast this is coming at you.
Corral on the move, retreats and just throws it away. That was a 24-yard gain, Kirk, followed by a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, I mean, it comes at you in waves. It's impossible to prepare for in practice, especially when Corral is healthy and it isn't a factor as far as being able to scramble and run. Your eyes are really challenged against this scheme.
Ely looking for a crease on that right side. A&M's defensive front is stout, and that's the linebacker Hansford helping out.
Hansford is got to play well tonight against the run, and also the run-pass option, getting back against some of those quick slants. A wide receiver who moved over to backer back in 19. Mike Elko telling us this week he just seems to be really settling in and seeing it a lot better now, more as a true linebacker.
Quite a story. Receiver, tight end, scout team linebacker. And on 3rd down, Wayne Kiffin, who calls the plays, tries a run up the middle, doesn't get much, and here comes the field goal team.
Yeah, which is somewhat surprising. I mean, this is worth tweeting something out, that Ole Miss is at least attempting potentially a field goal. I mean, usually when he runs on 3rd down in the red zone, he's setting up a chance to go for it on 4th down. But no, He brings Costa out for the field goal on his first drive. That's a win for A&M.
Touted true freshman recruit. He was 6 for 6 inside of 40 yards in his brief career. This from 33 for the early lead. So great start throwing the ball for Corral, picking apart the defense, but they get down in the red zone and run it on 3rd and long, which is interesting, and settle for the 3 points. Now we get a chance to see Zach Calzada and the Aggie offense for the first time.
This is just, when they're going, they're going. And you know what makes this offense work, I thought Lane Kiffin brought up an interesting point. The quarterback's ability, Corral's ability to process so quickly allows him to go faster than anybody that's really ever run this offense. So it puts a lot on the defense of A&M, because you got to communicate, everybody's got to be on the same page, and things are flying. I mean, they were snapping the ball there. It looked like every about 7 seconds.
Which is about as fast as it's humanly possible to do.
Yeah, by the time and they're always handing the ball to the ref. Refs, as soon as he spots the ball, the entire offensive line, led by the center, they're down and ready to snap and ready to go.
To that point, Kirk, 9-play drive to 203,
yeah.
58 yards, but settled for 3. And red zone's going to be enormously important, because it's a situation where the 3 or the 7 could decide the outcome of this game.
Yeah, like I said, that's the way that drive was going. It's a win for A&M's defense to force the field goal in the red zone.
Devon Achane, the speedy, world-class speedy running back for the Aggies, back to receive this kick. He makes a fair catch at the goal line. And welcome to Oxford, Mississippi. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe. Important collision of the SEC West. Matt Corral and the Rebels get the football first. Raced down the field, but had to settle for a field goal. First possession now for Zach Calzada and Jimbo Fisher's A&M offense. Whereas Ole Miss plays at warp speed, A&M much more deliberate. They want to establish that physical ground game with that running back tandem against the Ole Miss defense, Kirk, that's one of the worst in the country defending the run, second worst in the SEC.
Yeah, that's really the matchup. I think this offense has improved as much as any offense. Think about Zach Calzada stepping in. Remember, they lost Kellen Mond, who was a 4-year starter. Haynes King came in. He won the job, gets hurt week 2. Calzada loses the next couple games. After Colorado, Arkansas, Mississippi State, everybody's worried. They beat Alabama, and since then, they've been playing with confidence. The offensive line with 2 true freshmen up there. This is a confident football team coming in here tonight.
Calzada against the blitz, gets it out. Ball caught over the middle by Max Wright, one of the tight ends, and it's a quick first down as we check the impact players here when the Aggies have the football.
Chris, you talked about, I mean, as much as Calzada is getting talked about because his improvement really still starts with Isaiah Spiller and Devon Achane. They want to be able to establish the run against this Ole Miss defense and then play action. Weidermeyer's one of the top tight ends in the country. Keep an eye on 85. When they throw, Sam Williams 7 will be off the edge, and Chance Campbell 44 in the middle against the run needs to have a big night.
The Chick-fil-A impact players play action here. Calzada, a long throw. He's got a tremendously strong arm. Can make every throw. Accuracy is the issue, and as you said, the eyes and the feet, keeping those things together.
Yeah, and I think, again, like any quarterback that's ever played, and Jimbo Fisher's mentioned this when he's talked publicly about his improvement. Hey, guys, he's needed time, as he says, in the saddle, meaning he's just needed times in getting reps. He's got a true freshman center who's outstanding, but he's a true freshman, right? So along with a right tackle who's a true freshman as well. So the continuity's been developing.
First run of the game. This is Isaiah Spiller, top rusher in this team, closing in on 1,000 yards. Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and long now. Again, both these teams still in the race in the SEC West. Both need help from an Alabama opponent. A loss by the Tide to either Arkansas or Auburn. Aggies would win the tiebreak if they can get that loss and then win this one and beat LSU.
Let's remember one thing about A&M. They've been on the road, but neutral sites for the most part. When they played Colorado at Denver, they played in Dallas against Arkansas. Missouri, really their only true road game. This is a tough environment for this offensive line and for this quarterback.
Good point. They need 7 on 3rd. Rebels rush 4. Calzada has protection. No one to throw to. Now delivers, and it's incomplete. Threw it into traffic. And that was Jalen Weidemeyer, the talented tight end who's had a little trouble with drops in recent games.
He sure has. And watch Otis Reese kind of bracket. He's right in this area right here. He will actually work to the outside. Does a good job of eyeing it. They're anticipating the throw. See how they kind of have him bracketed? They got him to the outside. They got him to the inside. They know exactly who his favorite target is. And a nice play there by Reese taking away the inside.
Interesting, Kirk. You know, Jimbo Fisher scripts the first 15 plays. 4 out of the first 5 were passes.
Yeah, trying to break some tendencies there. I think Ole Miss may have jumped here. Now, obviously 4th and 7, so it may not cost him the first down, but
David Smith in charge of this SEC crew. It would still be 4th and 2 at the 45.
Offside on the defense. Contact with the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Fisher keeps the punt team out there. It's Nick Constantino, the lefty from Melbourne, Australia.
He sent that defense out. It's kind of a punt safe now at 4th and 2.
Ontario Drummond healthy enough to return punts for the Rebels. That's good news. He's a dangerous receiver, part of the passing game, who's been battling a hamstring injury. Constantino booms this punt, and the fair catch made way back at the 5-yard line. So Rebels with an early lead will be pinned back for their second possession after the 50-yard punt. Football Primetime presented by Subway. This presentation of the SEC on ESPN. Part of Veterans Week brought to you by USAA.
If you're just coming over from the Miami-Florida State game, this is the drive that you missed where saw some really good throws from Matt Corral. They were attacking, aggressive. If you're not familiar with this offense, put your seatbelt on because it's gonna come at you fast. A&M did a good job of squeezing in the red zone and forcing the field goal, but A&M and Corral, who is healthier than he's been in weeks, looks really good in rhythm on that first drive and very fast in between snaps.
The seatbelt with like a 4-point harness. You really strap yourself in.
You're gonna get some G-force there.
Hand it off. Ely breaks a tackle. It's a block downfield. First down, a lot more. Try to rip the ball out. He holds on, keeps it to the 30.
Brockcourt with a great block to left tackle. Open that up for him to get to the inside. And here they come. Like we just talked about, just waiting on the receivers to get set. They're ready to snap the ball.
And there's another accurate dart. Man, he is on fire tonight. Sanders with a catch, another first down.
Look at the top left. This is in between snaps. As you're on defense, you're trying to get the call, and about every 7 or 8 seconds, that ball's being snapped.
Another short throw. That's Casey Kelly, spreading the ball around as he does on this offense.
Notice how the receivers, every time they catch it, they get tackled. They're trained to immediately go to the inside where the ball will be spotted, get it to the umpire, get it to the referee, get the ball down, and get ready to snap that next play.
Ely on 2nd and 6. Gets a push, shows the leg drive. He's only 185 pounds, but he runs stronger than that. He's near the sticks in Aggie territory.
The big question in this game was, how's this Ole Miss offensive line, where they're still trying to figure out the guard position, is going to match up against this A&M defensive front?
And they do move the sticks. You're talking about some very inexperienced guards in the middle of that line against some really tough physical veterans on the A&M front.
I mean, the strength of this defense is their front, and I think, you know, as good as Ole Miss has been able to run the ball, it's been tough with Corral injured these last few weeks. But right now, man, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you got to be proud of that push you're seeing up front.
Henry Parrish spells Ely, who's got 5 quick carries in this first quarter already. Corral looking to throw, launches downfield, has a man wide open, and he overshot Pearson. Had him for a touchdown.
He really did. Safety bit on this, and Corral knew that he had it. Right there, he jumps. That's Richardson who jumped the out route, and it was an out and up by Pearson, perfectly timed. After all that running, that's when play action on 1st and 10 can be so effective. And they had Richardson out of position with Pearson down that right sideline and just missed it.
DeMarvin Leal, one of the studs up front for A&M, limped off after that play. Inside, Paris is off! And he takes a shot, holds the football, and the Rebels are near the 20.
Yeah, nice counter play here with that A&M defense getting upfield. Look at the time there. 8 seconds, 9 seconds. Attacking.
Parrish again. Man, that is just really, really challenging. You said you can practice, you can use 2 different scout teams during the week. Forget about that.
Yeah, and this offense is making its way around the SEC. This is what Heupel is running at Tennessee as well. Used to see this offense at Missouri. Now you're seeing it at Ole Miss. Arkansas runs it.
And across the middle, complete, and muscling down for a first down is Dontario Drummond.
Everybody talks about Lane Kiffin's offense. This is Art Briles' offense that Jeff Levy, who worked underneath Art Briles at Baylor, is now running here along with Lane Kiffin. But look how fast they are going after A&M.
Parrish gets the corner, touchdown, Ole Miss. And there's a flag, so hold on. The flag was at the 6-yard line, and this is going to, I think, nullify the touchdown.
I think it's a hold by Drummond, the receiver. Hey,
Holding, number 11 on the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Yeah, he got a hold of Leon O'Neal right in front of the ball carrier. 11 right here. Safety trying to get outside. Just grabs onto the jersey. I don't know if that would have impacted the play, but he did grab onto the jersey. See right there. But Chris, not only are they playing fast, they're playing physical up front. All the stuff that we talked about all week. The one thing we didn't talk about is A&M better be careful against Ole Miss and how physical they are in the run game. That's what they're doing.
Ely cuts it back. Well, talk about how tough it is to be physical, but you barely have your cleats on the grass on defense.
I know. That was the whole point, is just get the call and get lined up. The way you diffuse this offense is a dominant defensive line. You've got to blow up the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal. Ely, nowhere to run. They strung it out. He couldn't cut it back inside. Demani Richardson, the safety, was there. It's 3rd and goal.
A couple really good safeties on this defense with Demani Richardson, Leon O'Neal. The young Antonio Johnson plays that nickel spot, 27. All 3 of these guys are having great years.
2-back look. It was actually 3-back before Pearson motions out, and there goes Ely in motion. A lot of pre-snap shifting. They bring pressure. It's picked up, wide open. Drummond is knocked down at the 3. Touchdown saving tackle by Leon O'Neal Jr. It's 4th down.
Watch the receivers to the right kind of set a pick. How they open this up. Watch 81 and 0. They kind of work to the inside. 11 out of the backfield is able to get to the outside with the pick in man-to-man coverage.
And they go for it on 4th down. The 36th 4th down attempt for this team this year, by far the most in the FBS. Big moment early here. Corral looking to his left, fires, touchdown. Drummond on the slant was wide open. What a drive. What a drive, 92 yards.
Incredible play here. Watch the move right here to the outside. Watch how he moves outside as if he's going to a fade, man-to-man to the outside, then back to the inside. And a really nice pick to the outside by 13 that time. Sanders. But I don't think it would have mattered.
They dare you to call that, don't they?
That outside move to a fade got the DB running to the corner, and then he came back underneath.
Defensive folks say, wait a minute, you just knocked our DB out.
But look, the move. I mean, he's going inside. The defensive back
Corral on fire early, and the Rebels are up 10-zip.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway and in part by USAA. This Veterans Day, we invite you to honor all who serve with a simple act to show your thanks. See how at usaa.com/Veterans Day.
Matt Corral's family, strong tradition of Marines. His grandfather, his dad Pete, visited with him out in the Grove today. His brother David, his older brother, is also here, a Marine. 3 cousins, his uncle. And you can see where Matt gets his toughness.
Tough guy.
As the youngest of those brothers, they gave him no soft treatment. They knocked him around.
And what?
His dad Pete is an imposing guy, built like an offensive lineman.
But being raised like that, as far as on the football field, how much that's really helped him. He's one of the tougher quarterbacks, I think, in the country with such a future playing through injuries. I'm just so impressed. Appreciate that approach.
A-Chain stopped short of the 20. Holly?
Well, guys, you talk about the toughness of Matt Corral, and he is showing that with this Ole Miss football team. He's been battling a high ankle sprain in his left foot, and last week when they were playing a lesser opponent in Liberty, his coach Lane Kiffin said, I went to him to see like maybe he'd want to sit out, not playing that game. Matt Corral said, absolutely not. I will be out on the field with my brothers. He said Mondays are tough after these games. He goes back to square zero, but by Thursday, he's right and can practice and play. You see that toughness. He's moving well with his feet, and he does admit to taking some pain medication before this game, so he doesn't feel it as much, but he has shown his grit.
He looks good tonight, Holly. What a start for him.
There's a first down run, and Spiller muscles forward for about 4. To Matt Berry for an update in the studio. Hey, Matt.
Well,
Wow. That was a wild game.
Huge win.
62. Okay. Spiller got 6 on first down. And a pre-snap movement on that offensive line. Again, 2 true freshmen start for Jimbo Fisher.
Looks like Leighton Robinson, the right guard.
64 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I want to reiterate the importance of this. Haven't really been on the road. Here we are in mid-November, and they haven't been to LSU or going to Georgia or going to the Swamp or wherever it might be. Alabama. They've played most of their big games at home. They played some neutral site games at Missouri. Their only true road game. And here we are, middle of November, and they're feeling what it really feels like, especially that offensive line and this quarterback.
Second and 9, 3-man rush. Calzada gets it out and zips a long throw to Jalen Preston. Spot him just short of the marker, 3rd down and short.
Really good ball. He threw that well before Parker was out of his route. Threw that out in front of Preston where he could just catch it, get out of bounds, and give him a chance here on 3rd and short. Strong arm, man. Does a good job, even with the pressure in his face, and keeping his focus and his eyes downfield.
3rd down's been a problem for this offense this year. Certainly was in the win against Auburn. They just need a yard here, and they're going to get it with Spiller easily slammed down for 34.
One thing about Jimbo Fisher, right now the game's not going their way. He knows it's a long game. He will stick to his game plan. He will be patient. He understands to just kind of weather the storm here early with the emotions. Go back to the basics. Go back to trusting the offensive line. Spiller, play action on early downs. Just be efficient on offense right now.
Maybe get his defense a little rest over there, too. That wouldn't hurt.
You're right about that.
Ole Miss has run 22 plays already. Spiller again, and to evade early penetration to the backfield, does not get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Sam Williams Sr. and Jake Springer.
They're attacking Mark Robinson. Chance Campbell, watch the backers. Watch how they're just saying, hey, we know they're going to run the ball, especially on 1st and 10. We're coming downhill. We're shooting the backers. We're shooting our safeties. Jake Springer, the Navy transfer Chris just talked about. See 1, see 35, 7, Sam Williams. They want to make Calzada, make the passing game, beat them. As you said, Chris, early, stopping the run. They're 107th in the nation. It's been a problem all year. Why not attack downhill against the run game? In
3-man rush, Calzada, incomplete. delivering the hit right as the ball arrived against Chapman was Dean Leonard. It's 3rd and 10.
That was great technique by Leonard. The timing could not have been any better. Typically, Chapman's going to try to go by you. This time underneath, he's got the ball, but watch the right hand hit the football and dislodge it. Great play by 24.
Exactly how it's coached, right? Let's see if they come after him. They've not blitzed a lot yet.
And this is their best pass rusher, Sam Williams, up at the top. Here he comes.
Calzada flushed, flings it across the middle into traffic again. And once again, it's Leonard with the play. And it's 4th down. This Ole Miss defense inspired early.
They really are. Taking advantage of playing at home. 7 from the blind side. I pointed him out before the game. Watch him go by the left tackle with speed. Jameer Johnson. And I think really Calzada felt that. He didn't get, sometimes you don't have to come up with a sack. Just force him out where he's not as comfortable. Get him out of that pocket. Get him on the run. Good job there by Sam Williams applying the pressure.
Calzada off to a 3 for 7 start, just 20 yards. Sam Williams, an impressive dude. Coming out of junior college, everybody wanted him, including the Crimson Tide. He's an Alabama native. And punt fielded at the 19-yard line by Drummond. Not much of a return. Matt Corral has been on fire early. Rebels had the football back, up 10-0.
This Ole Miss offense already 22 snaps in the first quarter. It's been high tempo. It's been a balanced attack. Jeff Levy doing a good job of mixing up the runs with the passes. Matt Corral right now is doing a really good job of reading this defense, attacking. It's a big play here late in the last drive. Eyes in the backfield. Gives him just enough in that throwing lane to be able to throw that touchdown to Drummond. Off to a great start.
AT&T 5G SkyCam. You can check the SkyCast out on ESPN3 and the ESPN app. Haven't even had good field position yet tonight, but the Rebels have been just flying down the field. Here's a 1st down run. And breaking out of the tackle and powering forward is Ely. He is running hard in this first quarter.
He really is, man. He's had a concussion. He's missed some time. But this defense, you know, with DeMarvin Leal out, they're now putting true freshman Shamir Turner into the game. So you lose an alpha. You lose one of your leaders, and you go to a true freshman up front.
And there's a high throw. Tried to find Jackson on the slant. Leal is a guy who's an awards contender. All the top defensive player of the year awards. So to have him on the sidelines is a big story.
And what makes him so good is he can play inside and outside. And with Tyree Johnson, who we'll talk about, he's been in more really just on 3rd downs. He's an outstanding pass rusher. But with him dinged, Leal's been able to bounce and play outside. And so that is a significant loss for now for A&M.
The screen here, they need 3. Ely, heavy traffic, and he's going to be tackled by Chappell, the true freshman corner, and it's 4th down.
Nice play by Chappell there. The corner 7, young guy, did a good job of just kind of holding the edge of that defense. Rest of that defense flying in. Big McKinley Jackson, 325 pounds, working to get outside. And how about A&M's defense? Even with the loss of Leal, they get their first 3 and out, force Ole Miss to punt.
Chappell's a tough kid from Philly. A very undersized corner, but he held up well on that play. And now Mac Brown, the 6th-year super senior, on to punt. Nia Smith doesn't like to fair catch. He's reluctant to do that, but waves at the 30-yard line. More breaking at ESPN. Sunday NFL Countdown. The all-access look inside Russell Wilson's recovery. Trying to get back in the lineup against the Packers. On Monday night, the Rams take on the 49ers in an NFC West matchup. 7-2 Rams losing by a dozen to the Titans last week. See if the Aggies can get the offense going here.
Not been able to run the ball here early.
16 yards rushing.
Keep in mind, that's their strength, and that's Ole Miss's weakness, is defending the run. But so far, Ole Miss holding up just fine.
And that's A-Chain, his first carry. A blazer. 10-2, 100-yard dash. 20.3, 200-yard dash. Goodyear providing aerial coverage. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven.
I mean, that's world-class speed you're talking about. 100 and the 200. An elite track and field athlete for the A&M, which, by the way, is one of the best track and field programs in the country.
Calzada, long throw. They're taking those underneath routes there, and that's Demas making the catch, and it's a first down.
Yeah, nice to see yards after the catch. A simple out route. He pulls that ball out, and it's a run-pass option where he can either hand that off or, depending on the lookout wide, he can throw it. He saw soft coverage, got it out to Demas, and you and I were on the field before the game with Holly talking to Jimbo, and he said, I was going over all the receivers. He said, look out for this young guy, Demas. He's got a lot of upside. Going to be a great player.
There's 10 catches coming in. Play a bigger role in the last few games. Calzada with his first downfield shot, and it's incomplete, trying to find Anaya Smith on the crossing route. Smith, the safety, was back there.
Yeah, good job of protection. That play took a long time. You'll see him from the right working over across the middle. Linebackers are up tight, but good coverage. But you see how long. Ball's just a little bit late. Allowed the corner on the other side, Leonard, to come over and be involved in that.
Calzada still trying to settle in. 4 for 9 in this first quarter. Play clock winding down. Got to hurry here. It's 2-1. Just get it snapped. And A-Chain muscles forward, picks up about 6. It'll be third and about 4.
You know, DJ Durkin and Lane Kiffin decided to go the transfer portal route, brought in Jake Springer from Navy, Chance Campbell from Maryland, and I think those two especially have helped this defense. Otis Reese came over from Georgia a year before, but Campbell, to me, when it comes to defending the run, I talked about him as one of our impact players. He's going to have to step up, and he's got some of those instincts where you can get off of blocks and be able to get into the backfield.
4 defensive starters out of that portal. Use the free agent market, very effectively, and not just starters, but guys you said who've been leaders. It's such an interesting area in college football, Kurt, where guys are transferring around, very fluid rosters, yet they arrive. Guys like Campbell become instant leaders in a new team.
And
Springer.
I asked DJ, I said, when did he get on campus? He said, June. And I said, think about that. This is our new world. He got in campus in June from Maryland and became not just a starter, but like you say, a leader of this defense in the middle. Spends times on Thursdays with Sam Williams and some of the other players, kind of almost like a coach. Everybody's going over, everybody's kind of connected. Hey, when you do this on this call, this helps me spill the ball to you. And I just love how they're communicating and trying really to work hard as a group.
He's been tremendous, really. Leading tackler, leads the team in forced fumbles, 3 of them, 3 fumble recoveries.
Yeah, most productive player on this defense. And again, I think that's the new world that college football is in. It's almost free agency. Whether you like it or you don't, it's our new world. It's our new reality.
Aggies need 4, close to 5. A-Chain is the back. Rebels showing pressure. Don't bring it. And Calzada thought about running. Boy, he bailed from the pocket quickly. Tries to make something happen on the run. Incomplete, Kirk. You'd love to stand in there a bit longer on that play.
You're right. I mean, he had man-to-man coverage, but really good, tight coverage by this Ole Miss defense. I mean, there's nowhere to go with the ball, and you can see right in the middle, we just talked about Chance Campbell. He's spying there. So you said, hey, he looks like he wants to go, but 44 had that taken away. So there's just nothing there. All he can do is throw it away.
Took a bump and then did a little acting job there. No flag, but it's been a frustrating start for Zach so far. The drive stalls in Ole Miss territory. The final minute of this frantic first quarter. Constantino has to do his job and pin the Rebels deep again. It's a high short punt. Bounces straight up in the air and will be touched initially at about the 12-yard line. Talk about Nick Saban, by the way. Nick's a lot leaner than there. This is St. Nick's tree, coaching tree, and all these former Saban assistants had tried to beat their former boss. None could do it. 0-24 until Jimbo Fisher got him. The only Saban assistant to win a national championship, but it was the Seminoles, and then defeat him. And he did promise that to a booster club. He kind of popped off in the summer. I'm going to beat his rear end before he retires.
Got him.
And he did.
What a win. Changed the season.
Sure did. They were 0-2 in the SEC going into that game. Big underdogs, like 17-point underdogs, trailed by 7 late after having a 14-point lead and then 2 late scoring drives.
Came out with a real underdog mentality, kind of a chip on their shoulder on both sides. Bama fought back, but A&M really in control most of that game, especially early.
This is Snoop Connor, his first carry tonight. They have a 3-headed monster, a tailback, and Connor is really, he's the battering man, the physical one of these backs.
Yeah, they will continue to rotate backs. That's the one thing. They go hurry up. They're trying to rotate to stay fresh. They like to lean on you. By the way, DeMarvin Leal is back in at right end to the offense's left side.
It's going to be a snap infraction there. Orlando Amana kind of faked the snap.
Illegal snap. Number 51 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's like, see big Jaden Peavy now going off, limping a little bit. So the strength of this defense is the front, and we've seen a couple players now dealing with some injuries.
Corral over the middle, has a man running free, and it's Pearson out across the 40.
Complete bust in coverage. 2 defenders go out to the flat on the tight end, Casey Kelly. Nobody covers the seam. Eyes out of place on that play for the defense.
There's another first down throw, and it's Pearson again. And he's forced out in A&M territory at the 41. Final play of the first quarter. There is a flag down near where he was forced out of bounds.
They put so much pressure on you as a defense. You just cannot take your eye off the ball. Like maybe a face mask that could be added to this.
They've run 28 plays in the first quarter. That's if you can do the math. That's 112 play pace.
There's the face mask.
And they've gained 221 yards.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 9 on the defense. That 50-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run, and we will have 1 untimed down.
So that's O'Neal. There'll be 1 extra play, a chance to add to that yardage total. Think about that. A&M gives up 318 a game. They're the next best thing to Georgia in the country in defense.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss has 221 in the quarter.
It's like they're working on Calzada after that pressure, maybe a brace that he's been using on that left knee since that Alabama game.
He had that brace on the pregame.
The tempo, like I said, it's maddening for a defensive coordinator. It's a very frustrating scheme to try to defend, and it puts so much tax on your emotions and your mind and being sharp. Take your eye off the ball or your focus, and you're in trouble.
And the last play of the first quarter is no gain. Well, the Aggies. Heads are spinning on the ropes here, down 10 after the first quarter, with Rebels threatening again. Back for quarter number 2 after these messages.
Veterans Week coverage on ESPN, brought to you by USAA.
Wow, college football prime time presented by Subway. This presentation of the SEC on ESPN. 4th possession for Ole Miss. Kirk, they've had terrible field position in all 4. This is the 3rd time they've threatened A&M and trying to build on this 10-0 lead.
They're really executing well. It's amazing to go that fast and to not make mistakes or have miscues.
Corral pulls it, and he'll be sacked. Ball is loose, and the Aggies recover it. That was not free by Leal, and Tyree Johnson is the sack master, comes up with the recovery.
Nice.
What they needed.
Nice to see DeMarvin Leal have an impact. We just talked about how he was out. He was in the tent. He could play inside. He can play outside. Watch him here. Good coverage, by the way, allows him to get home. Without that coverage, he doesn't make that play. Good job knocking that ball loose. And Chris, you're right. Johnson, eyes on the football, jumps on top of it. But the coverage downfield, the assist for Leal.
Finally, this defensive front for the Aggies makes an impact play when they desperately needed it. See if they can get Calzada going. You saw him working on that left leg. He's looked a little unsettled tonight. They have both A-Chain and Spiller in the game, flanking the quarterback. A-Chain spins back inside, picks up 3, knocked down by Mark Robinson.
That brace has changed braces over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's tried a number of different braces. You know, number one, you want to protect the knee. Number two, you want mobility. You know, if something's constricting you, then you're going to want to get out of that brace.
Remember, came out of the tent against Alabama, was heroic at the end. Came out of the tent against Auburn. They popped his dislocated shoulder, the right one, by the way, back in place. There's the throw, and Smith makes the catch. Jimbo made it seem like that's no big deal. That's football. Pop that shoulder right back in there. He was in excruciating pain and got through that.
That kid has shown a lot of toughness. We didn't know a lot about him early in the year, and we haven't seen him play. And now we're starting to see some of the intangibles that he brings to this position to go along with a big arm. I mean, Jimbo will tell you he has as strong an arm as any college quarterback that you'll see anywhere in any conference. By the way, another run pass option, saw the soft coverage, gets it out to Smith again.
Smith going in motion. Spiller cuts back, and he'll be dropped behind the line. Knifing in there was Jake Springer. Holly?
You guys are talking about Zach Calzada's left shoulder. You can see he's wearing a brace underneath his pads and his jersey. They just adjusted that brace, loosened it up a little bit. It was too tight. They also worked on the brace on his left knee. This kid is banged up right now. They're making sure, the athletic training staff, to make sure those braces are comfortable so he feels like he can move out there.
Absolutely. Well, these transfers, we keep talking about them, Holly. Chance Campbell, and that time it was Jake Springer. They are involved in this run game defense.
Aggies behind the sticks on second down. Calzada from the pocket delivers inaccurate throw. Tried to throw a bullet across the middle, and Dimas couldn't get a hand on it. There's a flag.
There's going to be a hold on Texas A&M. He had him open over the middle. Would have been brought back.
On the offense, number 58. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Johnson said, I didn't do it. Doesn't matter. It'll be 3rd and 13 now.
Yeah, these offensive tackles for Jimbo, I think they're surprised with the speed. Sam Williams came into tonight, one of the top pass rushers in the SEC. But I'll tell you, Cedric Johnson, who that time was lined up against Jameer Johnson, he's had a pretty good start as a first-time starter himself with 5.5 sacks. So both their edge guys can get to the quarterback.
He got 33 in the season, at 9 against an overmatched Liberty team. Hugh Freeze's offense here a week ago. Calzada with the screen. Spiller's got a long way to go. Slips one tackle, and he'll be ushered out of the sidelines by Chance Campbell, 4th and long.
And that was the goal for DJ Durkin. Win first down, win second down, and then either bring pressure or rush 3 and drop 8. That's been the defense for DJ Durkin. Try to rush 3, drop 8, play zone, eyes on the ball, everything in front, and then rally to the football. That was a great example of that right there on 3rd down.
DJ Durkin talked about the improvement of this defense. They were frankly awful last year. They're not the strength of the team, but this is a great start for this defense tonight. So far, first quarter in a few minutes. 4 possessions and 4 punts by A&M. Their catch made at the 10 by Drummond once again as Reveille looks on. Rebels are backed up after a 48-yarder. You'd be tempted to say it's over, but we certainly thought Auburn, Mississippi State was over at 28-3. they go from 25 down to win by 9. Mike Leach's Bulldogs in Jordan-Hare.
That's right. That was a wacky game.
Ely picks his way, breaks free into the secondary. Great speed. They'll try to chase him down, and they do, but a monster gain inside the Aggies 40.
Another nice job by the left tackle, Nick Broker. He and Caleb Warren on that left side open that up, and then it's just hard running by Ely, who is known as a blazer, but tonight has been breaking tackles. Look, they can't even get the sticks ready.
53-yard gain. He broke a 70-yard run, second play of the game last week against Liberty, but it's a different defense tonight, and they are churning up yards on the ground.
Ely is an explosive guy. You know, he's dynamic. But he is really doing a good job of being able to get through some of these arm tackles.
Parrish spells him on 2nd and 4. He makes a cut. He's got room. They got a first down in the red zone. How about the balance between one pass so far for Kiffin's offense?
Well, and when they start running the ball like this, you're in trouble because the run-pass option, the pass game off of that run game is coming. Those quick slants are coming for touchdowns.
And there's a throw to the end zone, incomplete. Almost 50-50 in play selection and 50-50 in yards gained so far.
Yeah, Jeff Lebby, again, he was at Baylor. He understands this offense. He's been with Lane Kiffin, obviously. Lane's kind of marvels with Jeff's ability to call plays and how fast he calls plays.
Very few guys on the planet can do what Lebby's doing at that speed, to process that quickly.
You're right.
Corral across the middle, a dart, accurate. And that's Casey Kelly with his third catch tonight, first and goal.
You know, they pull the guard, Eli Acker, and it moves the linebacker to give him a nice throwing lane, and that was a tight window.
First and goal. Parrish slips as he makes the cut and falls down at the 1-yard line. I'm laughing because A&M cannot get their breath at all.
No, and their eyes, they're kind of guessing on run versus pass right now.
Second and goal. Corral keeps it. They were ready for that run. And he lost the ball again. A scramble for it way back at the 20. The Rebels will maintain possession, but for the second time, they've knocked it out of Corral's hands. That was Damani Richardson who forced it.
Damani Richardson, you know, Corral's such a fighter. He's trying to fight for extra yards. Look at that ball in the left hand. 26, Richardson knocks it out. It looked like Leal had it. I thought he was going to get on top of it, but good hustle that time by Pearson to come up with it.
What a dramatic change from ball at the 1-yard line. 18-yard loss now. Third and goal. Corral takes off and runs, and he'll be knocked down to the 15. So Richardson's play is a 4-point difference as the field goal team will come out now.
Huge win. Richardson, there's always these plays in a game that you remember. If A&M competes and wins this game or comes back, never forget that play with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Ole Miss has almost 300 yards of offense to 71 from A&M, and it's potentially only 13-0.
Of course, they had a scoop and scores. The only touchdown scored in the Auburn game knocked the ball up. Actually, did knock it. Bo Nix just dropped the ball, and Michael Clemens scooped that up and ran in. So the field goal by Costa makes it 13-0, but A&M avoids going down 17 points.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway, is brought to you by Coors Light. Hey, sports fans, scan here to take a photo with Kirk Herbstreit.
Aggies were everywhere, and they were up on Beale Street. Memphis is about an hour north of here. Yell practice usually in Kyle Field, held up there.
9:30 to go in the second quarter. They're on 13. I think Jimbo Fisher is saying the same thing that we were just talking about. Like, guys, let's put a drive together. He's talking to his offense here. Let's put a drive together and let's get back in this game. It's not as bad as it feels.
Those big dudes huffing and puffing on that defensive front. I mean, Ole Miss run 38 plays. That is just a silly tempo.
Again, 9:30 to go in the second quarter. You've run 38 plays. Mike Elko, who's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, is looking down there right now with a helpless feeling like we got to make some adjustments, guys.
But the Rebels just 1 for 3 scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That's what's kept this thing close. Tonight's Modelo Fighting Spirit moment.
Well, the defense, as much as we're talking about Matt Corral in this offense, this defense came in 107th against the run. They are attacking downhill for DJ Durkin. He's also slanting and angling that defensive line, occupying those offensive linemen, letting those backers be able to make plays. And Sam Williams on third down, one of the top pass rushers in the SEC, 10.5 sacks, twitch, just to be able to move him off his spot. It's an uncomfortable feeling for this quarterback, and this offense is yet to kind of settle in and create an identity in this football game.
Achane and Spiller yet to make a big impact running the football. Just 28 net rushing yards for this A&M offense against a defense that's really had a hard time stopping the run most of the season. Chain makes a cut, picks up about 6 to Matt Berry. Thank you, Matt. And 2nd and 4. Calzada keeps it. Nowhere to run. And just gets to the ground. Sam Williams was ready for that little wrinkle.
They are flying to the ball. Man, Jake Springer is on fire tonight. He's going to attack down, and it's going to force Calzada to pull it out. Play action. He's trying to get outside. The problem is, this Ole Miss defense, they are getting off of blocks, getting around these offensive linemen, and the tight end, even that time, Weidermeyer, making plays. He's frustrated. Jimbo is frustrated, wants to stay on schedule, wants to avoid these 3rd and 6 or longer.
Aggies 1 of 5 on 3rd down. Continues the theme in recent weeks. It's been a struggle. Here comes the pressure. Calzada backpedaling, complete, but short of the 1st down is Jalen Preston. Brought down by Prince.
Going with a crossing route with man-to-man coverage. He just kind of fell, kind of fading away, waiting as long as he could. They brought the corner Leonard. He gets rid of the ball awkwardly, but gave his receiver a chance. You can see he's about a half a yard short of the 1st down marker.
Good job by the junior corner, junior college transfer Prince making that tackle. But Nick Constantino has been really busy tonight. This Rebels defense, Kirk, continues to be the story tonight. We knew Ole Miss could move the ball. We knew Corral was going to be sharp. He's healthier, but the way Ole Miss has played defense tonight, I think it's shocked Fisher.
That's why was that our Modelo story tonight. So
45-yard punt. Well, the CFP National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper has been a lot of places, but no place more fun than the Zebra Tent. Jane and Lance Foster are
look, there you are,
unparalleled hosts. I was there, not for that moment, but I spent some time there this afternoon. That's where Corral's family was hanging out, along with the father of Ruben Fathery, the right tackle for the Aggies. Very inclusive. You're welcome to join no matter what team you root for, where you come from.
See, I've never had a chance. We've done game day from the Grove a couple times. Never had a chance to partake the way you did today.
Someday do it.
Yeah.
Corral back to work, fires over the middle, and coming back to make a beautiful hand sketch was Braylon Sanders. A little bit behind him. He grabs it for 20.
Yeah, Hansford occupied by Ely underneath. Gave him a chance to put it up and over top of Hansford. And it's good to see Braylon Sanders back and healthy for Matt Corral in this offense.
Ely in a crease. Not 100%, they said. Neither was Drummond, but, gritting their teeth just like their quarterback is, like so many guys on both teams are really at this stage of the season.
Ole Miss just keeps running the football. 144 yards now on the ground. Sets everything up for their play action RPO game.
Ely again makes a cut. He's already himself got close to 120.
How about his wiggle there on the outside? Jalen Jones, who's had to move to that boundary corner because of the injury to Miles Jones early in the year, he's done a pretty effective job at that time, just trying to stay outside, protect his outside, but he gave up the inside to the quicker Ely.
Corral pulls the ball, lofts it downfield, threw it into traffic. It was almost intercepted by Antonio Johnson, who was covering Pearson.
I really think Antonio Johnson, think about this, 6'3", 200-pound nickelback that really emerged after the Colorado game. Did a good job locating the ball. Now he just has to finish it. But Mike Elko will tell you that he has become an alpha as a young player to go along with Richardson, making his 29th start, O'Neal making his 30th. Couple veterans in the back end. Then you throw in 27.
And catch made across the middle there by Drummond. Takes a shot. Another 1st down.
Drummond's not intimidated at all to go over the middle. I mean, he's 220 pounds and thick. When you're down in the field looking at him, almost built like a tight end.
Handoff. Soup Cotter. Secondary lowers the shoulder, delivers a blow. They're getting chunks of yardage. You're at the 14.
I thought Lane told us they have guard issues. offensive guards have been a problem with injuries. Caleb Warren that time just opened it up.
Hyper speed. Connor again makes a cut. A&M's defense, Kurt, once again backed up, has to make a play to avoid going down 20 here.
Now you see Peavy looks like he is going to go down. This is where people always wonder, you know, is he exhausted or is he injured? Happens a lot against these kind of offenses.
Kind of grabbing quickly at his left calf, but gets up to one knee. No, this is the tactic that, frankly, not against the rules. It's against the spirit of sportsmanship. Coaches don't like this, and we're not saying Peavy's not legitimately suffering from something. It's just it's an opportune time to go down and get a break here.
Well, we were at a break the last time, and the defensive lineman from Texas A&M across the line, huffing and puffing, trying to stay up with this tempo of this offense. But this offensive line is doing such a good job opening up things. 54 on the left there. Caleb Warren, look at that hole. I mean, he's pushing around the linebacker Hansford, and these backs don't need a lot of room to work. Ely and Parrish are known as the faster, but Snoop Connor can go too. He's a power guy, 220 pounds.
Talking about Warren, Eli, all they'd heard all week was you guys are inexperienced. You may be the weakness of this team against this mighty defensive front of the Aggies. They have come out and played really well.
Yeah, they took it as a challenge, and it's great for Ole Miss to be able to stay healthy in that backfield and stay fresh.
Connor behind Plumlee as Corral rolls and is muscled out just short of the pylon by O'Neal. Flag down in the end zone.
You knew he's going to hop up. Actually snuck in John Rice Plumlee in the backfield, almost lined up as a fullback and got him out in the flat, but he was taken.
Ruling on the field where the runner was short of the touchdown. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Unnecessary roughness, number 45 on the defense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's the automatic first down is the important part of that. They got.
He gets hit, and then watch 45. Could have let up. I mean, he could have hit him a lot harder too, but it was just how far out of bounds he was where the contact was.
The progressive pylon cam also took a shot to the helmet there, did Corral. Pops right up. And now 1st and goal. Connor leaning. No signal. Jared, they called him Snoopy when he was a kid. His mom gave him that name. Then he said, just drop the Y, call me Snoop. And they all do here. Quickly 2nd and goal. And quick penetration, just body slamming the man to the ground there is Edrin Cooper. That's a loss for Connor. 3rd down now.
Remember, he's an athletic quarterback that can get on the edge with the ability to run and throw, and he is healthy. Been limping the last 4 weeks, but looking good tonight. You probably see him on the edge.
They hand it off inside, and that Aggie defense continues to play well. Backed up, Leal came around the corner. It's 4th down.
Yeah, Leal, who you know, it's away from him, but he shows you, even though he's tired, he makes a heck of a play there to get involved. Help out with Leon O'Neal also in there.
Going on 4th. Corral pulls it, flips it in the flat, and stopped short is Casey Kelly. Not tricked. Chappelle, the freshman quarter, makes a big play. Aggies hanging around in this game.
Chappelle makes the huge play of getting off Dontario Drummond, who he had in coverage, but he sees the ball thrown to Kelly. Watch 7. He's blocked. He's blocked. He gets off of that block and then makes the play and keeps Kelly out of the end zone. Another big play by the Ags defense.
Taco Bell's Le Mans Student Section of the Year contest. Hashtag Student Section Sauce. And go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Aggies hanging in there. Ole Miss ran 4 plays from the 1-yard line. Couldn't get in. Second possession tonight. They got out of the 1 and haven't gotten a touchdown. Now trying to avoid the safety is Spiller, and he couldn't get out. Couldn't get out of the end zone, and Ole Miss's defense continues to play inspired, superb football.
Sam Williams forces Spiller to kind of jump cut out and right into the arms of the middle linebacker, Chance Campbell. Watch 7 off the edge, quick, gets inside. Spiller has to try to dart to the outside, and the penetration by Chance Campbell and the rest of this defense. There's 7, there's 44, and the rest of that defense cleaning it up along with Kadron Smith.
This is complete dominance for Ole Miss. I mean, it's only 13-0. They got a yardage edge of 368 to 78. Lights out on both sides of the ball. If they could have executed a little bit better, found ways to score from the 1-yard line, this could be an early knockout in this game.
Yeah, shocking.
It is shocking. And Aggies road favorites coming into this game.
And again, we keep saying it, first time they've really felt what it's like to be in a hostile environment this entire season. They played some great teams, but never in an environment like this.
Fist bump from Jimbo to his quarterback there. Holly?
Well, guys, Sam Williams actually told us yesterday that this defense had a choice to make. He said, we didn't want to be that defense that wasn't good enough, was getting embarrassed, was not getting to good bowl games, continuing to lose. And we got together as a team and decided we had to change our identity. We wanted to go 10 wins. We wanted to get to a good bowl game, but it took us coming together as a defense and deciding that's who we had to be. And you're seeing a little taste of that tonight.
Yeah, they give up a lot of yards, but make those havoc plays. You know, sacks, tackle for loss, takeaways. That hasn't been the story tonight. They don't have a sack yet.
No.
They don't have a takeaway yet.
That's what makes it more impressive.
Yeah.
Is how well they've played against the run. And they knew that they had to come in with a mentality like Holly was just talking about, and being aggressive against Spiller in this offensive line in the run game.
Aiden Davis kicks it away. Ely from his 10. And the running back who's had a monster first half knocked down across the 30 as a flag is thrown impressively about 25 yards in the air. Impressive. From deep center field. That's a good arm. Spotted something on the return, no doubt. Rebels figured to have good field position. Davis drove the kick deep.
Illegal block in the back, number 14 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Dalen Gill, reserve linebacker, with the penalty. Moments ago, look at this.
Look at the awareness of Lane Kiffin here. Goes over to, sees Lee Corso down on the sideline, whispers a little something into his ear.
He says, I like your pick this morning.
Yeah, he did. They actually both picked Ole Miss. He's smiling, looking at him. Lee's probably telling him, when you lose, say little. When you win, say less. Stay focused.
Maybe he's given a goal line play idea down there from the old school coach's manual. Lee didn't like the shotgun from the 1 foot line, does he? This is Parrish. Makes a left turn and picks up about a yard. Leal on the tackle there. 3:45 before halftime. There's Coach Corso.
There he is. Sticks around. Watches the game from the sideline. Whatever team he picks, he's always on that sideline. Usually hands on knees, like he's actually coaching with a headset on.
Another play by Leal. He's made back-to-back tackles here. Looks like he's been frustrated about how things are going so far. He's taking it personally.
This is kind of what we thought we'd see more of, not just from Leal, but the entire defensive front. Man, he did a nice job of kind of getting skinny, got between the tackle and the guard, and got into the backfield. This is where Mike Elko typically likes to get creative.
There's a pre-snap flag here. Rebels were shifting around, kind of a tightly bunched formation, 2 by 2, but everybody in close. Elko, he's used to, with that defense and his scheme, he's used to confusing the opposing offense, right? He's used to rattling quarterbacks.
Game on the defense, number 26 for Clapping. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
I mean, Bryce Young had his moments where he was rattled by the A&M blitzes, and Bo Nix was certainly frustrated last week.
Chris, I have to say, Richardson gets called for this, for clapping. Usually you see that from a linebacker or defensive lineman who's pretending to call out the cadence. He was 15 yards off the ball clapping just to try to get one of his players, kind of get their attention. I was surprised by that.
Makes it 3rd and 5, and the Rebels are going to convert. That ended up being a crucial penalty. Parrish turns the corner and they move the sticks.
Yeah, it's a big difference from 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 5. It changes the play call. And you go back to relying on that offensive line to open up some running lanes. This time for it's Parrish.
There's a quick throw. There's a fake that run, the RPO, and it's Plumlee, the guy that Corral beat out quarterback a couple of years ago here, turned himself into a receiver.
Yeah, does a good job. Those linebackers are flying to stop Parrish on the run game, and the only problem is quarterback Corral sees that, pulls it, and then throws it right behind him.
How ridiculous is his release? I was in awe watching him from 10 feet away in warm-up. It is so quick. Crazy quick. 2nd and 3. Ely picks his way. And another first down. It's across the 40.
I think between his ability to process, his comfort within this system, the film work that he does, he and Lane Kiffin challenge each other, match me. They text each other, meaning I'm getting to the office at 5 a.m. You better be there. This kid really works at that aspect of the game. So processing along with the release helps him play fast.
And an improvisation play, flips it to Ely. He was in the grasp of defenders and makes a play, and they're in Aggie territory inside the 40. Wow.
That's great awareness. You know, he typically wants to step up and go, but this time he steps up and he senses that Ely, who is in there blocking and pass protection, is available and just checks it down to him. Anytime you can get the ball to Ely in space, you take it.
Instead of a sack, it's a 21-yard gain. 23rd first down for the Rebels in this first half. Corral spins away from pressure and delivers incomplete. He has all kinds of arm angles, doesn't he? It's fun to watch.
It is. This time he just, at the last second, again, he reminds me like of a Baker Mayfield when Baker was at OU in college. The ability to improvise and do things that are a little unorthodox. You know, what is he doing? Oh, yeah, that worked. You know, that kind of feel to his game at times when he takes off and does things. Or he's just being an athlete, right? Just turning it loose.
Tries to turn it loose here. Wanted to look downfield for a throw. And now just sprints and he'll just throw it away. Heavy pressure from Michael Clemens that time.
Outside of the pocket, you just want to make sure that ball got across the line of scrimmage, which it did. You know, as if this offensive scheme isn't hard enough to defend, right? You got what are they up to? 58 snaps in the first half. 58 snaps in the first half. You got a quarterback that can read quickly. They can run the football. Then you got to worry about the quarterback improvising on top of that.
Cranking down the tempo here from this possession late in the half. Need 10.
Oh, I heard the lane whistle. I heard the lane whistle. That's usually a check when you get the whistle.
Got to hurry. Just get it off. He checks to a run. Connor's trying to get free, and that check didn't work. Aggies trap him behind the line, and it's 4th down and real long. Aaron Hansford with the tackle there, and Connor's still on the ground. Whatever Lane saw, the Aggies are ready for that time.
Yeah, they sure were. You know, he gives them a run-pass option. The defensive line did a much better job up front. You see his leg gets underneath of Hansford on that tackle and then gets pushed back by Antonio Johnson.
That left ankle. That's where these guys stretch. That extra flexibility can keep you from getting injured in the play. That didn't look good at all, but he's up walking around at least.
Again, Snoop Connor, of the three, known for being the more powerful back to go along with Ely and Parrish, who can hit a crease and go. Jimbo looks like he's going to call a timeout.
Well, the offense was still on the field. There's no coaching book that says you go for it from here. But
analytics don't say to go for that here?
I don't think so. Matt? Matt, thank you. Connor limping around behind the bench here. I mean, this is one of those interesting situations. You know, Kiffin, he says he uses analytics. I think it's a combination of hunch as much as anything else. And, you know, yeah, the ball's at the 40. They need 11 yards here. The Aggies have 1 timeout, 49 seconds. I mean, 129 FBS coaches punted down there.
Yeah, but the analytics thing, I find it interesting. You know, they use it up in the NFL a lot, and it changes week to week, stadium to stadium, opponent to opponent. So, and he's got a guy down there. It's not like he has it memorized. He basically looks over to the guy, and the guy kind of gives him a thumbs up or thumbs down on what to do based on the analytics. But you didn't see this in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. I mean, it's something in college football we're seeing more and more of over the last maybe 5 years.
I understand, look, you could try to get something, add to a 15-point lead. If you punt it down there, the Aggies are going to run one play, and it's going to be the half.
Yeah. I still look at this score and think it feels like it's 28 or 35. It's 15. The A&M defense has done their job in keeping the Aggies in this game.
And Mac Brown, the punter, is out there. And Smith standing at the 6-yard line. Aggies wary of a fake. But Brown just kicks it high with spin, and the fair catch made at the 6-yard line. 57 seconds to go. Well, it's a noon kickoff. The old horseshoe of the banks of the Olentangy. Michigan State and Ohio State colliding. It's presented by Arby's at noon. Michigan State did its job, got through today, and the Buckeyes were overwhelming.
Yeah, they got their offense going back to where it was prior to the Penn State game. It'll be exciting to see Mel Tucker, who was an Ohio State assistant. He was a defensive back coach in 2002 with Jim Tressel when the Buckeyes won the national championship.
It's going to be an interesting conversation in that A&M locker room. Jimbo Fisher's team, you said down by 15. That's the good news.
Yeah.
Bad news is they're being badly outplayed on both sides of the ball. I mean, they have not been able to get the running game going, and they haven't stopped Ole Miss from running.
At the line of scrimmage, which if there's anything to take away from this first half, forget the tempo and this offensive style, it's the line of scrimmage that's got to be more frustrating to Jimbo than anything else. That's what they've got to go in and talk to these linemen about. We've got to take over the second half and win the line of scrimmage, or we don't have a chance of getting back into this game.
This will be the 27th play the Aggies have run. Ole Miss 59 plays in the first half. Spiller has been really contained by this Rebels defense. It was struggling to stop the run coming in. That's actually his best run of the night. Does move the sticks and momentarily stop the clock. Jimbo will get the football to begin the third quarter. He said that's it.
That's enough.
Readers falling off the face, takes the headset off, going to some work to do at halftime. Some work to do as the favorites from College Station have come in here and head spinning down by 15 at the break in Oxford. Matt Berry and the guys, the Mercedes EQ halftime report coming up.
Week coverage on ESPN, brought to you by USAA.
And welcome back. ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway. Presentation of the SEC on ESPN, part of Veterans Week, brought to you by USAA. Check the numbers here. That right column is pretty overwhelming. Ole Miss running 59 plays, gaining 408 total yards. Kirk plays in opponent's territory tonight so far. Ole Miss 35. The Aggies have run one PlayStation, bringing you the first half stats.
Well, the good news is, if you're an A&M fan, the defense has kept them in the game. I mean, Lane said it walking off the field. It could be easily 30-0. They're only 1 of 4 in the red zone. They've had to settle for field goals. But let's see what A&M can do with offense. Jimbo Fisher is known as a great second half adjustment coach. See what he can come up with.
Feels like the Aggies just need kind of one long march to get them going. Maybe get that defense pepped up a little bit. Holly?
Well, Coach Jimbo Fisher said their offense has had missed assignments. He said it's just fundamentals. Guys aren't putting a hat on hat. They're not getting their running game going like they need to. So making better choices, missed assignments getting cleaned up. He said we've actually got to help our defense. Their inability to string together drives, extend drives, is putting too much pressure on their defense. 59 plays in the first half for that defense of Texas A&M. Jimbo says our offense can help that.
Quarterback Calzado just 7 of 14 for 48 yards in those 7 completions. Spiller trying to make something happen in that Ole Miss defense. I think they've been tired of hearing about how bad they are against the run.
They showed up with a bad attitude, which is a great thing to see for DJ Durkin. We knew these linebackers, Mark Robinson and Chance Campbell, would be attacking. But I tell you, Jake Springer and these safeties, especially on early downs, have been heavily involved in defending Spiller in this run game. There's too many blue jerseys for him.
Calzada across the middle, and that's Weidermeyer, the talented tight end, finally involved tonight. His first catch, and it moved the 6 to the 36.
And a really tight window between two linebackers, but he throws it early. Calzada was holding on to the ball a lot in the first half. Watch 85 kind of sneak between, just settles in that zone right between those two linebackers, and the ball hits him right between the 8 and the 5.
It's not Ole Miss tempo, but the Aggies cranking it up a little bit after getting that rare first down. Calzada on play action, throws downfield, and the catch is made. Now he's finding some rhythm here, and on the tackle by Dimas, a flag is down. That'll add some yardage to the completion.
Yeah, he got hit hard as he was fighting for yardage right there. Springer hits him as he's trying to break away from Prince, the corner. Bang, that contact right there.
Look at that for targeting for sure.
Yeah, you can see him actually grab his, as he's going down, he gets hit, and he grabs, oh yeah. Springer has been active today trying to hit people. Let's even reach for his own head after he gets hit. Oh, that's
Personal foul, targeting number 1 on the defense. The previous play is under further review.
We'll bring in Bill Lamagna. I don't think there's much debate about this, Bill. This looks to be textbook targeting.
Forcible contact, lowered the head. He came into him. He took aim on that. So this is going to be upheld, and we're going to have a disqualification.
Dimas right away, you can see grabbing at his head.
Yeah. Ball again by Calzada out early.
So they'll attend Dimas and we believe confirm this call of targeting. Aggies do need a spark. 108 minutes, Kirk, since they've scored an offensive touchdown. Got to go back to the third quarter of the South Carolina game. The only touchdown A&M scored against Auburn was that scoop and score. So you're talking about an offense with a very well thought of offensive mind. Jimbo Fisher just really struggling to find the end zone. It's been a long drought.
Yeah, it has. And the one thing you would say about that is that, you know, the offensive line, we keep talking about how much
After further review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 1 is disqualified for the remainder of the game. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the catch.
Keep talking about how much they've improved, but you're right. They've kind of hit a lull here, and we'll see. They've actually finally got the ball in plus territory.
Yeah, just to be the second play they've run in Ole Miss territory. Ball's going to be at the 40-yard line.
It's a big loss with Springer. He's had a big night tonight, especially against Spiller in the run game. They'll have to make some adjustments on the back end with these safeties.
Trey Washington, a true freshman, backs him up. Adrian Smith, another safety. He's played quite a bit, number 20. This got quiet all of a sudden. Aggies at the 40. 2-back look. Smith joining Springer in the backfield to get the ball out quickly, and just a decoy as they find Caleb Chapman.
That's their version of run pass option. Soft corner, you can either hand it or throw it if you can make that throw to the outside to Chapman. Problem is they've got offensive linemen 5 yards plus downfield because they're thinking it's a run play, but quarterback Calzada looks out there and says, hey, that's an easy 7 or 8 yards to just pitch it out there against soft coverage.
Spiller really overdue to break one. Feed him again. Heavy traffic. He's right near the marker, just inside the 30. Sam Williams has had a terrific game so far on the stop. And they were signaling first down. The mini version of the Aggie band begins to make some noise. It's been a quiet evening from that corner, hasn't it?
I think it's the first time I heard the lads.
Calzada on the delay, getting that easy access, and that's Chapman again. They're taking 7, 8 yards when they can.
Yeah, again, it's the same deal. You're going to play soft. Look at the offensive line. Right side of the offensive line, they're well downfield. But he sees what he sees. Look, that's what he's looking at. He's thinking, you know what? I can hit this out cut. I got the strong arm. I got a receiver that I know can make the play. Why not take the easy way of getting those yards? force Ole Miss to tighten up their coverage, then you can try to go by them.
Spiller tries to bounce it. He ran right into a run blitz and fights to get back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, short yardage and early downs, they're not waiting. The linebackers and the safeties are not waiting. Do a good job again of winning at the line of scrimmage. Watch 7 get into the backfield. He's a pass rusher, but he forces Spiller again to bounce that, and you can see how they rally to the football there on 2nd and medium.
1 of 6 on 3rd so far. Need 3. Spiller bangs forward. It is a first down. Aggies in the red zone tonight.
That was a much better job of the right side, led by Layden Robinson, the right guard. He came down and opened this up. The right guard, 64. Good push right there. And Spiller got right behind that block, found that crease, and got the first down. With the coaches from A&M going crazy trying to get Jalen Preston back on the field.
He's in the slot to the right here. Calzada, fastball. Smith made a heck of a catch there, defended by Washington, who's backing up. Springer now.
Heck of a play, about a 1-yard gain, but great effort and a good job of getting. Like his right leg maybe got down before the elbow for the 1 yard.
Tough dude. He plays on special teams. Loves to block. Demas is out of the tent, taking that shot to the head.
Jimbo Fisher's thinking we're in the red zone. We've got to get a touchdown here in the second half.
Been a struggle. Talked about Ole Miss's struggles in the red zone tonight, but the Aggies all season long under 50% scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That is not good. Calzada got his feet tangled up with the back, tried to get set for the throw, Kirk, and it threw him off.
Yeah, I think it affected his rhythm and his accuracy on the throw, but it's a short throw to the outside again. Not getting the ball thrown downfield. You see the collision there with Spiller. Definitely impacted him, but look, if that ball's caught, it's a short gain. They've got that covered very well by Henry.
3rd and 9. Important play.
They moved Spiller out of the backfield. He's all the way up at the top. See if they bring him back or keep him out wide.
Ole Miss showing a 3-man rush. A little pre-snap chess game here. DJ Durkin. He's not sure why they've blown the whistle and having a conference at this point. Neither are we.
Delay of game on the defense. Number 3, Clapham. 5-yard
Oh boy,
penalty.
this seems to be an
Still
emphasis tonight. Each team's been called for this once, and that's Otis Reese. He said, "We're not clapping." You can read his lips.
Very unusual to see this, you know, to see this
when guys are clapping to tell their teammates to move around.
It's one
that's
thing
not distracting the offense.
Chris, it's one thing to have a defensive lineman or a linebacker close to the quarterback and center. These safeties are back, 8, 10, 12 yards.
Bella's chill with this call on both sides. It's 3rd and 4 now. It makes a big difference. Calzada backpedaling, launches to the end zone, overthrown. Weidermeyer was well covered that time. No chance to make a play.
Chris, this is what you're talking about. This is let's see him clap. Let's see the clap that's going to affect. That was it, I guess. That was it. That was the clap.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
Yes, so. Yeah. Boy, he had the matchup, by the way, in that last play. Weidermeyer, the big target, tough matchup at 6'5", just threw it behind him.
Seth Small, more field goals in his Aggie career than any kicker. Goes for his 68th career field goal to get A&M on the board, and he knocks it inside that left upright from 30 yards. So A&M takes it 62 yards, finally scores, but not what they were looking for. Still a 12-point game. Beautiful look at the heart of Oxford. They get Christmas lights up early. The Goodyear blimp providing coverage, making the plays that move you forward. Goodyear more driven.
It's like walking around at Disney World when you're around the square there.
It really is.
It is. I mean,
but it's real.
It's a campus.
But you can eat well. She got the Great Clips Command Center, ESPN3 and the ESPN app. Get all the complete stats like this. Look at Matt Corral, 216 passing in that first half, 18 for 26. Ely, 122 yards rushing against a defense that gives up 123 per game.
Well, this Ole Miss offense has been able to get things going because of that run game. Offensive line has had a big night. This has not been by tricking them with run-pass option. It's been by asserting themselves up front, winning blocks, winning the line of scrimmage, opening things up for Ely and Parrish, and here in Snoop Connor. The other thing we've seen is hard running by Ely. I mean, it's great to see him fresh. Look at the yards after contact. That's got to be a focus for Texas A&M.
185-pounder, but he runs bigger than that. He's got the football again, makes a very quick cut, and muscles for another 6 yards.
You know, as a team, I mean, yards after contact, I'm sure, you know, you always do adjustments at halftime. Mike Elko, the defense coordinator from A&M, said, let's get our cleats in the ground, and we got to start tackling. We got to be more physical.
Rebels right back at it with the tempo. Corral looking to throw. It's incomplete. That was Drummond in traffic there in 3rd and 4.
Quick slants, big part. These glance routes with these receivers off of that run game.
Chance for Aggies defense to get off the field here, perhaps build some momentum, but Corral gets the ball out and it's dropped. A little bit behind Casey Kelly, who's been a prime target tonight. Couldn't come up with it, and here comes the punt team.
And a rare 3-and-out tonight for Ole Miss's offense, and A&M just unable, A&M rather, gets him off the field, and Kelly just unable to hold on to that football. I think he would have had enough room there to pick up the first down.
Turned his head and looked at the defenders. It would have been close, but that drop, something to remember here. The Aggies offense, again, didn't find the spark they necessarily were looking for. And now a muff punt, and coming back to field it at the 10-yard line, avoiding a disaster there. So Smith able to recover his own muff. The Aggies going to be backed up. 12-point game.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway, is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
There is some post-game there. They make it break it down by midnight in the Grove. Sadly for you. Celebrate out there. College game day built by the Home Depot. Headed to Columbus. No surprise there. Top 7 showdown. Spartans and the Buckeyes.
That will be a lot of fun. A lot of hype there for that one in the Big Ten. Columbus.
Game presented by Arby's at noon Eastern time. It'll be fun to bring that one to you. A&M backed up at the 12. Lozada, another one of those short distance throws on first down. They got a little rhythm going here. Dimas came out of the tent, was evaluated for a concussion after that targeting hit by Springer. Passed that test and is right back at it.
Good to see the freshman back, showing the toughness to be able to come back and make some big play here on this opening drive. Ball thrown a little bit behind him, but adjusts well to the ball. Again, Jimbo Fisher very high on Dimas and what he can do in this offense.
His 12-yard catch in the first half, the longest play for the Aggies tonight. That one got 11. Looking to throw again in first down over the middle. That's Weidermeyer, makes the catch, takes a big hit, holds on, and he's across the 40. Smith delivered the blow after a 19-yard gain.
I love the play action because it gets the linebackers up and then it creates a seam right behind them. See the backers come up, they're paying attention to the back on 1st and 10. Good early down play action these last couple plays by Jimbo Fisher.
A-Chain breaks a tackle. He can fly. A-Chain ducks out of bounds at the 41. They're starting to pick up chunks of yardage now.
How about the young freshman, Bryce Foster? This is a center, true freshman. Watch him here take on this block, endures it, and he gets right underneath that block. It's a true freshman that has grown, has got a bright future out of Katy, Texas, played at Taylor High School, just gets better and better with each rep.
And at 16 yards, that becomes A&M's longest play tonight. A-Chain again. It's around corner briefly and just bumped out of bounds, but another big gain of about 7 on first down.
Now you're starting to feel like this looks like the A&M offense and what they're capable of doing. They thought coming in to the game, early down play action against an Ole Miss defense that's determined to stop the run, mix in some of that, and then get back to being able to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and get Spiller and A-Chain some room to run.
It's like a hockey line change. They brought in 4 fresh bodies in that Ole Miss defense, including the defensive front. Fake it to A-Chain, flip it in the flat. Weidermeyer ducks inside, another first down.
Good attempt by these receivers to help out the big tight end. Smith with a block downfield. Demas, these guys are known with their ability to make plays as receivers, but well coached there to help the big tight end out, give him some room to be able to get to the first down sticks.
Fisher always wants to attack the middle of the field against the defense. Weidemeyer is a big part of that. Hasn't made a dynamic play yet tonight, but he's always a threat to do that.
Such a matchup problem at 6'5". You put a smaller guy on him and he's going to go over top of him. You put a bigger guy on him and he's going to outrun him.
Jimbo pointing out, you look at the offenses on Sunday, they always have that guy, that matchup nightmare, and he's got one at the college level. Their play action throw on first down, and another catch made by Demas on the far side.
Leonard starting to jump that. We've seen that play run tonight maybe 6 times, and it's worked every time. Again, they have the run pass option. He can hand it off, or if the corner is soft, he'll continue to throw it. But what I'm seeing is Leonard starting to jump that out cut. Would not be surprised at some point an out and up, try to make him pay for taking that chance and trying to start to jump the out cut.
Leonard, the corner from Calgary, Alberta, the top cover guy in this Ole Miss defense. A-Chain has a hole and accelerates, weaves his way, and finally the touchdown drive for the Aggie offense is over. They reach the end zone. Preston threw a block downfield. Here comes A&M.
Here they come. All because of the way they were able to control things up front. I'm going to point again to the big center, 61, Bryce Foster. Look at the job of sustaining blocks and opening this up for A-Chain. 64, Robinson also, but give the offensive line and the line of scrimmage an assist on that entire drive. That was well done and opened up that running game.
Go back to the plays that A&M defense was able to make at the goal line late in that first half to keep their team in it. Kiffin said it should have been 30-0. It wasn't. All of a sudden, it's 15-10. Rams-Niners on Monday night. Of course, Peyton and Eli will be, along with guests, bringing their special spin on things. Mannings are the first family, of course, Ole Miss football. Eli's number 10, 1 speed limit. Archie's 18. You can really speed around there if you get an Archie neighborhood.
Yeah.
Peyton's on there, even though he went to Tennessee. Of course, Cooper Manning, his son Arch, is heavily recruited by Ole Miss, Georgia, among other schools. They're Rebels fans hopeful another man can be headed this way, but gotta say, let the young man make his decision. Matt, back to you. Sooners knocked up by Baylor and Waco. Ely knocked down. You know, Kirk, all of a sudden it feels like there's some urgency for this Ole Miss offense. The drop on third down last series by Kelly, and now suddenly it's a 5-point game.
Yeah, not getting positive yards on 1st and 10. And it feels like the A&M defense getting more confident as this game goes on.
Morale pulls it, now flips it down. Ely's got some space and bolts forward, just running straight up the field near the marker. Knocked out of bounds by Edgerrin Cooper. It is a first down.
And the tight end that time, Casey Kelly, cleared out the linebacker, and it opened up a huge vacancy there on the left side of that defense.
Ely's got it again and picks his way. It's the kind of first down gain that Kiffin can live with.
Yeah, that's what we saw a lot of in the first half. What that allows him to do, of course, is put that turbo, that fast tempo that they love to work with, and they get into rhythm when they're able to do that.
He's got it again. Made a little nice cut when he first took the football, kind of a sideways cut. He's wrestled down nicely by Jalen Jones. It's third down. They'll need about 3 here.
Mike Elko took a chance there, walked up the safety Leon O'Neal and blitzed him and took one of the linemen and allowed him to make the play.
A&M was still running a man off the field, and the handoff, first down yardage. They had an extra guy out there. Big fella.
Here it comes in late. Flag came in late. It was Isaiah Rakes, looks like, was trying to get off the field.
And Jimbo wondering if Ole Miss substituted. If they did, you got to give the defense a chance to get the guy off the field. If they didn't, it's hard to make that kind of substitution. The ball was all the way across from their bench. It's a long way for the big fella to run.
That's right. They did substitute. So theoretically, they should have time. That's the other thing with these referees. When things go that fast, it's hard to keep track of everything. But there was a substitution, which means they should have been afforded the opportunity. Ely went out of the game. And we saw Henry Parrish come onto the field.
You're right, because Ely was tackled near the sidelines. Yeah. He jumped up real quick. Yep. They ran the other back on.
So they should have stepped in front and waited till A&M made the adjustment.
As it is, he did gain first down yardage. If they pick the flag up, it still should be a first down for the Rebels.
If I could add on here, this is a good conference.
Original foul for a legal substitution on the defense. The result of the play is a first down for Ole Miss.
It's a good flag pickup. They got together, they straightened it out.
Yeah.
And this is the second down.
Yeah, Ely will get up real quick and jump off, and Parrish goes trotting out right there.
Yeah, so anytime that happens, of course, you should step in front. You can see A&M's trying to make their own substitutions with Jackson trying to get into the game. And now my thing would be they let the play stand, but A&M was waiting. I don't blame Jimbo for being upset. Almost should be like a dead play, do-over play, because A&M, by theory, should have time to get lined up and to get their cleats in the ground and get ready, and they weren't. That's what he's
making that exact point. Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he disagrees. If you can read his lips, you can strongly disagree.
And it's not reviewable. I'm just wondering if could they waive the play off and replay the play, because that was a big advantage for Ole Miss.
They did pick the flag up, but no opportunity to do the play again. So it is a first down. Parrish is still the bat. Corral takes off, makes a cut. Hasn't done that much tonight. Very few design runs. Really hasn't hurt the Aggies scrambling yet.
No, but he looks so much healthier than he has these last 4 weeks. And to Marvin Leal continuing to get a push 8. What a future he has. Look at him. Look at him.
He just came in now. There's a flag at the tackle there.
Oh, he got a hold of the face mask.
Tremendous quickness.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, for his size, he's 290 pounds. He can play inside or outside. He plays outside. I think he may have got a hold of the face mask as he's trying to get outside. Look at the strength he has. Right hand, right hand got up, got a hold of that face mask.
Foul, face mask on the defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run.
You called it the 15-yard variety. It wasn't a very violent yank of it, just momentary grab of it. But that's going to move the ball inside the A&M 40. But they're still marching down to the 35.
For people that have just tuned over to this game, it's 15-10. But what you're not seeing is this A&M defense. They're about to be on the field for their 70th snap with 4:25 to go in the third quarter. There's a chance they're going to be out there for over 100 plays.
They're thankful the pace has slowed down.
It has.
38 in the first quarter.
But I mean, think of the wear and tear and how much, especially the big 300-pound defensive linemen. They're holding up to this point very well. And Ole Miss has not been a great fourth quarter team.
Beg your pardon, there's only 29 snaps in the first quarter. That's a good point. They have not been. Corral The flat, Ely. They had him penned in. They kept the edge. He cuts it back and gains about a half yard.
Ely is such a great athlete. Plays baseball. Dominant player in both sports, and having a big night tonight, especially showing how physical he can be against his defense running the ball.
Oh, fumbles the ball. Ely still loose. Corral has to dive on it back outside the 40. Leal made another play, and Ely, instead of falling on the ball, tried to pick it up and run with it.
Better be careful with 8 getting into the backfield. He dropped it initially, picked it back up, and then you're right, Leal's in there.
Now it's 3rd down and 17. And Ely slammed down. That time it was Edgerrin Cooper coming in. And that Aggie defense on their heels when Ole Miss was at the 34-yard line just pushed him back.
Future superstar at the linebacker position for the Aggies defense. Just a matter of time until he takes over. 45. He's been playing, reps. He gets in there behind White and Hansford. Shows so much flash. When you watch A&M's defense, you see 45 making a lot of plays. Only a freshman. That time he just got around the lineman and made a play in the backfield.
How many linebackers or gunners on the punt coverage team? He's got that kind of explosiveness.
Yep.
Brown with the punt. Fair caught at the 10-yard line. All-State bus here in Oxford. It's the All-State celebration moment today.
A lot of big wins. Baylor had a big one in Waco, but I got to go to Jim Harbaugh, one of his biggest wins, if not the biggest win that he's had since he's been the head coach in Ann Arbor. Tough ask to go to State College, take on a Penn State team that is very good. This played late in the game. You see 3:30 to go, all the way to the end zone. Defense came up with 7 sacks today. So congratulations to Michigan and to Jim Harbaugh with an impressive win late in the year. Takes a lot of grief for losing big games. Today, he won a big game, he and his team. They look great on the road.
Chances against the Buckeyes in Ann Arbor end of the year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm asking you.
Home game. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're playing well.
Aggies with 129 yards here in this 3rd quarter. And Spiller rips off about 8.5 on 1st down.
We did not see this in the first half at all. We were marveling at what is DJ Durkin? What has he done to his defense? They're 107th against the run coming in, and yet they're playing lights out in the first half. This is kind of what you thought you'd see. More of Spiller, more of some lanes to run, and more of play action to get things going, to get that, find that rhythm, which they, second half, they finally have found.
2 tight ends in on 2nd and short. Thought they might take a shot downfield instead. No gain off the left side. It'll be 3rd and short.
If you're going to give a game ball to anybody tonight other than somebody on that Ole Miss offense, it's Sam Williams, 7. He's had a huge night as a defensive end, known again as a pass rusher. I've been as impressed with his ability to hold up against the run against this offensive line as he is rushing the quarterback.
This crowd's kind of been asleep for a while, trying to make some noise here on 3rd and 1. Spiller hesitated and dove late near the marker. Chance Campbell kind of came in low. The spot is going to be crucial here.
Boy, these guys are getting off of blocks. Chance Campbell, he's just selling out trying to make plays.
Spiller had to work hard, and I think where they're spotting the nose of the ball, it's going to be a 1st down. That might be a tad generous on the spot.
Wow. He did dive the last second. He was wrapped up by Chance Campbell, and he just tried to dive over top of him to get to the end zone. He's short.
Jimbo had a bleeding here.
Watch his play and this effort right here in the nose guard as well. K-Day Hill, watch this. Look at that effort, and there's Spiller trying to get there.
Jimbo did not like the spot at all. Does not want to send that punt team out, but you can't go for it in your own 20-yard line here.
Jimbo up here frustrated.
Tell you what, they don't bring the chains out very often anymore. That spot was really close to the yellow line. You could see there.
He's talking to Bryce Foster, the center, about we're short by an inch.
I think that's actually it's a good call. That ball was like short of the blue stripe. which is short of the 20-yard line. Ended up being, I think, a pretty good spot. Trying to get the Rebels to jump offside. Don't. Constantino with a very high, short kick. Fair caught at the 43-yard line by Drummond. So Ole Miss gets off the field on 3rd and half a yard, and good field position for Corral now. Tuesday night, CFP top 25 rankings. Reese, you, the panel, Gary Barta, over on ESPN. You expect any dramatic changes? Oklahoma was not in that top 4 position, so another undefeated falls. UTSA, not the U.S. Tennis Association, remains undefeated. Ely picks his way. That was a big moment for Ole Miss. A&M had momentum. They've been moving the football, churning it out in the ground. To get that stop, that play by Campbell, you talked about diving over there in 3rd and short. Now we'll see if the Rebels offense can get going again. They're in a little bit of a lull right now.
They sure are.
And they flip it in the flat. Plumlee has a nice block on the edge, and he's got a first down into A&M territory.
Yeah, he got lost by the coverage of Texas A&M. He was lined up on the right side as an H-back and came on after the snap of the ball and the play action. He just kind of slid into the left flat. Nobody picked him up.
Braylon Sanders just kept driving his man backwards. So the end of the 3rd quarter, dominated by Texas A&M. They cut into the lead 15-10 with 15 minutes to play here in Oxford. An elimination game in the SEC West. Of the SEC on ESPN, set for the final quarter. Miss built a 15-0 lead. Aggies scored 10 points in the 3rd quarter. Rebels on the march here. Corps Cadets and the band over there, and the Aggies kind of swaying back and forth, kind of a micro version of Kyle Field on the road here.
They still believe, right?
Have to. Corral lofts downfield, looking for Braylon Sanders, who came back. Underthrown Chappelle. The freshman corner's really held up well tonight.
He sure has. He's a really talented wide receiver against a true freshman corner. Turns his eyes, tries to feel when this ball might be getting to the receiver. Just unable to get his hands underneath that ball and come up with the catch.
Corral looking to run all the way and takes a hard shot. Well, that was Chappelle, who's down on the field. There's a couple of flags there, and this one will undoubtedly be looked at for targeting as well.
Yeah, anytime you see a quarterback sliding, going down, you need to get off of, you need to come out of trying to make contact with him. And he's giving himself up right there. And even, it wasn't necessarily, but I'd love to hear what you say about this, because it wasn't necessarily a big hit. It's just that he could.
Personal foul, late hit, unnecessary roughness with targeting on the defense, number 7. Penalty is 15 yards.
So when he's giving himself up, that's deemed defenseless at that point, and he shot the quarterback's head.
If he's defenseless, he's defenseless then. The late hit call I can live with.
Me too.
The targeting call, I think they need to reverse.
I didn't see that part of it.
No, I don't see that.
I think anytime a quarterback goes down and I'm a defender, I have to avoid contact.
You're also
just to be safe.
In a semi spot here. Was he into a feet first slide, or did he kind of go forward and sideways on the slide? That's debatable too.
There's also a concern, by the way, of the health of Chappelle. The athletic trainers down on the field looking at his head. He immediately stayed down. The head and neck area is the area of concern for him.
I don't see a feet first slide on this play.
After further review, there was no targeting on the play by number 7. The 15-yard penalty for the late hit will be added to the end of the run.
Yeah.
And it does
the late hit is not reviewable at that point. The targeting, of course, is, and it's picked up. The 15-yard penalty stands.
That's correct. You can't do anything about the late hit call.
Yeah, that's
judgment.
Pretty much what you expected to see called is in fact called.
Chappelle slowly walking off. Got another true freshman backing him up, Deuce Harmon. But Chappelle, we just point out how well he's held up on the edge against this talented receiving corps tonight. Sanders and Drummond, as healthy as they've been in recent weeks, but they have not really feasted at all.
No.
A&M secondary.
No, and we've actually seen Deuce Harmon playing tonight. He's been playing some when they bring in 5-6 defensive backs. He's been on the field and has played a lot of football. He's an outstanding cover corner.
Ball inside the 30-yard line now. Rebels eager to stop this run of A&M. Get the offense going again. Been in scoring position throughout the first half.
I think it was
only found the end zone once.
Trips into the boundary here. A little bit of a different formation. They motion out.
It's Pearson going in motion now to the far side. And Corral feels immediate pressure. And this is a scramble. And this is what drives defenses and coordinators crazy. White able to grab him.
Well, that's it. I mean, this offense is tough enough to defend, but you throw that aspect in. And he had an open receiver that time. He just didn't see Sanders.
Ely tries to drive the legs, picks up a yard. Again, not 100% Corral. When he was 100%, just shredded Tennessee and every other defense he faced with those kinds of scrambles. 3rd and 3. And Corral pitches incomplete. That's another drop. Had a couple crucial drops after halftime. That was Sanders that time. And it's 4th down.
And they go with that condensed formation to try to get a matchup to eventually work back outside. Remember, they're not quite to the red zone, just outside of it, but another drive that ends without a touchdown. It's going to frustrate Lane Kiffin. They're 1 of 4 in the red zone on touchdowns, and now they're just outside of it. We're going to have to try to settle for another field goal.
Hayden Costa from 40. I think normally he'd go for it here on 4th and 3, but his team has had such little success on 3rd and 4th and short tonight. Trying to go 3 for 3 on the night. It's a fake. And picking up and running and fighting and being stopped short of the first down. Let's see where they spot it. O'Neal grabbed him. It's close, but I think the Aggies think they got him. Not fooled. Mack Brown is the holder as well as the punter here. Didn't feel it. He typically wouldn't go for a field goal in that situation.
Right.
They lined up, but the Aggies were not fooled.
Well, Lane Kiffin's on the other side. You're talking about a team that goes for it on 4th down more than anybody. And when they line up for a field goal in that area, you are alert and waiting for something. And that's what A&M's defense was doing. He almost picks it up. I mean, I thought he was going to keep running straight, and he picks up the 1st down. And he didn't. He started to run sideways to get away from the tackle. If he lowers his shoulder here, not that he has a lot of experience.
He's a punter after all.
Yeah. But I'm saying right there, I thought he's at maybe a half a yard or less from the 1st down marker.
He was trying to break free. You're right. Had he just thought north and
Kept
south.
going straight. Yeah, he had it.
He's 6'4", tall body.
Jimbo's frustrated with the spot.
Bringing the sticks out for this one all the way across. Pretty important measurement. The Aggies are going to get the ball back. If he's short, and he is. So the fake field goal doesn't fool A&M, and they'll get the football back at their 20. Came close to making it. I think your point is a great one. Brown, if he just thought a little bit more where that marker is.
Cannot say enough about DeMarvin Leal and the entire A&M defense. They have kept him in this game.
The ruling on the field was the runner was short of the 1st down.
I mean, they really have kept them. They've given up some plays. They're going up against a great offense led by this talented quarterback, Matt Corral. But when it's been the red zone or it's been a critical moment on a drive, they've come up with plays.
Absolutely. And Ole Miss has kind of thrown the kitchen sink at them. They've tried inside runs, they tried outside runs, tried to throw the ball. Whatever they've tried, A&M's had the answer in most of those situations. They review the spots when it involves a 1st down, so they're taking another look where
trying to get to
Brown
the
was stopped
19-yard line is where the ball needs to go. Not his foot, not his helmet. The football needs to get to the 19. It's a tough angle there. There's a really good angle. See if he gets the football to the 19.
Right, so there's the point right there. If he'd have fallen forward and taken a sideways step.
Just gone down and forward. I just don't see that ball ever getting all the way. It got to about the 19 and a half, but not all the way to the 19.
Brown's a tremendous young man. He's the guy that at age 12 started a lemonade stand. Another look here to raise money for ALS. You know, he's raised more than $145,000 in his life for ALS.
Incredible.
Inspired by a friend's dad who'd suffered from that. He's shaking his head. I think he knows he was short.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed as short of the first down. First down, Texas A&M.
So you take a very reliable kicker, a chance to go up 8, and Lane rolls the dice that time, as he's done so often this year.
Look at that, 5 times tonight. They've been down inside about the 25-yard line, 22-yard line, and they're sitting on 15 points. And if A&M comes back to take the lead, that's going to haunt Lane Kiffin and this Ole Miss football team.
Why so much attention is paid to red zone. Decides games. Calzada looking to throw over the middle on first down and has an open receiver, and that's Nias Smith, who slides down across the 30.
Weidermeyer took the safety with him. Watch the big fella right here work across. He takes that safety and it opens up the middle for an easy throw to Smith. Nice patience that time by Calzada to let that play eventually open up.
Their first down throw. Weidermeyer breaks free, and the tight end found a little cushion in there. And it's a play to the Ole Miss 35.
I mean, it's your best target, right? The one guy you got to make sure you're alert and ready for. They lost him. And they're so locked in the backfield on the running backs and potentially that running game that Weidermeyer just slid right behind him. He almost looked like he was just like, hey, yo, I'm right here. Throw it. Nobody saw him.
Roll reversal now. Aggies using some tempo, and it's the Ole Miss defenders looking to the sideline here. Head spinning a bit. 27 yards on that gain. Take it to A-Chain. Another first down throw. Calzada lost it for the end zone. Juggled and unable to hold on was Demas.
What a throw. Outside shoulder away from the defender. One-on-one. Take a shot downfield on early downs. Why not? Look at the throw there. Couldn't have, that's good coverage. He's in phase, but the ball is thrown away outside shoulder to Demas, and Calzada said, oh my gosh, we had it.
Battle trying to get that right arm in there and knock the ball loose. Perhaps a touchdown saving play.
Great throw.
Very catchable. A-Chain on 2nd and 10. Fights forward for about 4.
This offensive line, whatever direction they heard from Jimbo Fisher, whatever the messaging was,
however it was delivered.
However it was delivered. It is like watching a different group right now going up against Ole Miss's front. Much better job of being physical and keeping a hat on a hat up front, giving these backs a chance. They didn't have much of a chance in that first half.
A lot of confusion on that A&M sideline about which personnel group is supposed to be in the game. Preston coming in now, but the play clock's winding down. May need to spend a timeout here. Yeah, he's going to have to.
Too big a down.
He was hot. There was just some disorganization with who was supposed to be on or off the field. So 3rd and 6 coming up. And you come back to Oxford. There's some trouble in Austin. Big play here, 3rd and 6. It's been a nightmare, really. You can see the turnaround for A&M and the yards in the second half. But on 3rd down, he's 2 for 9 tonight. 3 for 13 a week ago against Auburn. See what Jimbo's got cooked up here, Kirk.
Well, you know you want to try to find the big tight end who's in motion there.
He goes to the right of the formation. It's A-Chain running that direction. A quick burst of speed, a first down, and a lot more. Still running hard, still down to the 10-yard line. First and goal.
Nice job by the right side of that offensive line. Father Reed, watch the offensive line here open this up. What a call by Jimbo Fisher. You're thinking they're going to throw to the tight end. Instead, look at the hole on the right side. Opened up, right guard Leighton Robinson. Shows you the trust and the confidence that he has in that offensive line, especially you go back and think about the way things went in the first half.
Slow start for Achane, closing in on 100 yards now. Got 21 that time. He's got the football again, and he's going to be wrapped up by Chance Campbell in the backfield.
Campbell's been in that backfield, and especially in the first half, we saw him working his way through those offensive linemen. The other guy we saw was Jake Springer, the Navy transfer who has been out of the game for much of what we've seen A&M get things going. He was all over the field, but he's been taken out of the game with a targeting call.
Last time down here, Achane ran it in, but red zone has not been automatic for this Aggies offense this year. They've kicked a lot of red zone field goals, 12 of them.
Coming in, they're 118th in the country in red zone as far as touchdown percentage.
Yeah, under 50. Got to hurry here. Snap it at 1. Calzada. Happy feet in the pocket. Delivers. It's bobbled. Fired the ball hard in there, and Chapman couldn't come up with it. Third down now. Leonard batted it out of his hand.
He was looking the entire way at the big man working to the outside. Watch how they bracket him. They have 2 defenders on him. See his eyes, he's looking that way, but he had to come off, come all the way backside to Chapman. Good defense that time. The progressive pylon cam showing you that he's unable to hold on to that ball, but good defense to take away Weidermeyer, his primary target.
That's dangerous, that ball getting knocked up in the air. Potential pick. Third and goal. Again, play clock winding down. They got to hurry here. 3, 2, 1. Did he get it off? Calzada backpedaling, fires to the end zone, and no chance to make a play. And a flag comes in that they hit the quarterback later. Some kind of a personal foul at the end of the play. Flag came out very late.
It came out late, and the reaction from Ole Miss is it would be a hold.
Was Sam Williams grabbed late?
After the play was over, personal foul, number 58 on the offense.
That's Jameer Johnson, the left tackle. He was involved with Williams over there. So it's 4th down, and that'll move it back 15 yards for the field goal attempt.
You know, Jimbo's talking about it with the play clock. Wait, there's nothing worse on a big down for a quarterback who's all about rhythm than all of a sudden trying to hurry, get the count, get the snap. Now all of a sudden you got to be cool, and you got to be calm, and you got to try to make a throw in the corner. That's a tough thing to do, and that's why Jimbo's talking to his young quarterback about get the ball, get it snapped.
Big field goal here. They try to cut the lead to 2. Small, 1 for 1, and knocks this one just inside the right upright. So A&M makes 13 points in a row, 10-19 to play.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway and in part by Allstate. Save money like a champion with Allstate.
Represented military presence here on Veterans Week. It's always our crew. Certainly we join in saluting America's heroes who are working for us here. Jen Hartzog, Army National Guard. Look at Curtis Wilson, our bus driver.
Curtis.
Back, rocked up
Army,
back in the day. Look at specialist William Lamagne in the era of black and white photography.
Very smooth. Very smooth.
Salute you, Bill.
Appreciate everybody and their service. It's unbelievable. So much to be grateful for.
Indeed. Ole Miss coaching staff wearing jackets to salute the military tonight. Let's check in with Matt Berry one more time in the studio. A tricky one. You can't afford to look ahead to the showdown in Salt Lake City with Wazoo. So the Rebels, the lead is just 2 now. Corral checks it down, and the catch is made by Pearson. They are waiting for him. Big hit delivered by Antonio Johnson, the nickelback.
Well, you know, we just talked about how A&M's offense has kind of been one offense where they struggled in the first half and they caught fire in the second half. For Ole Miss, look at that. Look at 59 plays, 408 yards in the first half. Been a different story in the second half.
Behind the 6 here on 2nd down. Corral fires across the middle, but it was at the feet of Pearson, who was well covered. All that easy rhythm they had going in the first few series of this game, it is gone.
Really good coverage downfield. Ole Miss gets away with a big-time hold by the right guard, Eli Acker. He was getting pressured. Pass rush. Corral forced to step up.
Ole Miss has struggled on 3rd down as well tonight. 4 of 13. They have not converted very many in the second half. Corral across the middle, and it's caught. Diving attempt and an interception. Pearson made the catch there. O'Neal came flying across. I think he thought he was going to make the pick.
He jumped it. He was anticipating that crossing route. I don't know if they're going to take a peek at this to make sure he secured the ball. Well, but Chris, Leon O'Neal, I think, was expecting this throw. Does a good job of jumping it, but the ball's thrown where he has to work through the body. He's unable to get there. Ooh, that is worth taking a look at.
The ball can hit the ground as long as it doesn't aid in the control. So if he has a firm grasp on the ball, controls it when it hits the ground, it should stand. This is pretty close, though. We'll bring in Bill Lamagna. It hasn't had a chance to weigh in on many 50-50 calls yet tonight. Bill, how do you see it? Specialist William Lamagna.
Well, thank you, Chris. This one here should stand. I can't see enough movement of the ball, and it looks like he's got some control there. Can't confirm it, but I'd say stands on this call.
On a situation like this, Chris said it can hit the ground. Is that what you're looking for? Is that what they're looking for in the booth? If there's any kind of movement?
If it touches the ground in control, we're good. If that ground causes that ball to move where he doesn't have firm control of the ball, then you have an incomplete pass. I don't see movement there that I say he lost control of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks to me like Pearson just barely, Kirk, has enough control of it as it hits the ground.
How about the location of that football? I told you that Leon O'Neal jumped that route, but he couldn't work through the body of Pearson because the ball was thrown low and away. If he worked through the body, it would have been pass interference. So perfectly located football by Corral.
This is one of those important plays. You know, if they can get the first down, Ole Miss needs to get that rhythm back. They need to kind of get that Aggie defense on its heels again.
Yep. See, you can see him coming up right as he started to work across the middle. That's where that experience comes in. But
after further
really
review,
good
the
throw.
ruling on the field stands.
You got a 14-yard pickup on that 3rd and 11. And making do without Corral using his legs much tonight, Kirk. Very limited scrambling, very few design run calls. They still don't feel comfortable on that left ankle, kind of turning him fully loose. You get the feeling?
Again, think about it. He leads his team in rushing. He's been scrambling, but not a lot of design run where they're trying to get him loose. They're trying to save him.
Ely tries to get around the corner. Stiff arms a couple of defenders and still running hard and powers down inside the 45. What a night he's had.
Michael Clemens lost the edge to the defense. And Ely, with his acceleration, was able to run away from Aaron Hansford. And then again, once he builds up momentum, he's lowering his shoulder and using that stiff arm and getting through arm tackles.
19-yard chunk. They hand it to him again. He turns the corner and bangs forward.
You just wonder how many times can the A&M defense be asked to step up and make a big play at a critical moment. We've seen it all night tonight. They've given up some plays, given up some yards, but made big plays.
2nd and 8. And they hand it to Ely again, and he's going to get a short gain. It'll be 3rd down and long. Edgerrin Cooper here wrapped them up.
And zone read. A&M's not even really worried about Corral keeping it. I mean, they're locked in right now, and they should be on 9. Ely, because of that ankle, not as concerned about Corral, who again leads his team in rushing, and normally if healthy you would obviously be concerned about him.
Parrish spells Ely now. 3rd and 6, 3 receivers bunch left. And now coming in motion and back is Drummond, and they get the ball to Drummond, but he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss. Antonio Johnson studied tape, sniffed that one out, and exploded into the backfield.
Yeah, these defensive backs out on the perimeter, when they start to see a couple stock blocks, they immediately fire to try to get by him, and that's what they did. The tight end Casey Kelly trying to block Antonio Johnson, 6'3", 200 pounds, young player that becomes more and more dynamic as the weeks go by. That time was ready for that and made the play in space.
So Kiffin, you could see almost like a stricken look in his face. They got the 14-yard completion on 3rd and 11. They got the big run by Ely, but then the drive stalling.
Again, that A&M defense, right? Making plays.
Nias Smith is the returner. He'll come up and wave for a fair catch at the 11-yard line. They've been climbing back in this game. At 7:08 to go. Aggies get the football back. Down by 2. Well, Zach Calzada's been at his best in the 4th quarter. Remember, they were up big against Alabama, then down 7. This touchdown pass to Smith. This is after he'd been out of the 10. Remember, he'd been knocked around, comes back in, finds Spiller.
I think this is the night we really learned what this young man is capable of doing and the toughness he played with.
That's a serious scramble on the eventual game-winning field goal drive. Remember, that was an offense and a team that had been struggling 0-2 in the SEC until he comes up with that escape.
Think about that. Arkansas, Mississippi State, and then Alabama. And it's been a different team the last 4 weeks from that game.
Down 15. Now a chance to take the lead here. Ball batted in the air. Coming in to make the play there was Sistrunk. Was thinking about a pick.
Boy, good job. You can't get to him. You're just going to get your hands up. Sistrunk has not played a lot tonight. 6'1", 230. Not the biggest or tallest guy, but athletic enough to be able to knock that down.
Campbell was lurking in the area trying to pick it off with a carry. A chance to put the game away.
Calzada instinctively almost started to catch it, and that would have been a mistake.
Second and 10 against the 3-man rush. Calzada moving those feet around and delivers a throw, and it's carried and picked off the hands of the receiver, and picked off by Sistrunk, who makes back-to-back monstrous plays for the Rebels defense. A backup linebacker has come up huge in the 4th quarter. His feet never got set on that throw, did it?
You just never know, right? Who might make the play? Chris, you said a backup linebacker. We've seen a lot of Mark Robinson, Chance Campbell, Otis Reese, Sistrunk here. Bats the ball down on 1st and 10, and then takes advantage of a ball that goes into the air after Demas is unable to hold on to it. It's high off of his hands, and then great awareness by Sistrunk to hold on to that ball and fight for it as they both go down to the ground. You can see he's looking to the middle of the field at the last second. Tries to get the ball outside to Demas.
Demas, 6'3", is a tall receiver with long arms, went up high off his hands, and Sistrunk just took it away from him.
Red zone has not been good for Corral in Ole Miss. 1 of 4 in this area on touchdowns.
Driving forward, Snoop Connor, you can just see, I mean, Kiffin's tried everything down him. We talked about the variety, and nothing has really been effective in the red zone.
The windows get tighter. Offensive linemen have a tougher job. A defense getting the pin in their ears and getting upfield.
Boom! Touchdown! Take that! Snoop Connor just bolts straight up the middle. That solved the red zone woes, and the Rebels cash in the pick and stretch the lead with 6.5 to play. The 11th rushing touchdown for the most physical of these tailbacks at Ole Miss.
Cooper has been making a lot of plays, right? These linebackers have been making a lot of plays, but here with the motion, they're out of position, stepping up in tight, no one in the middle there to be able to make the play, no one left.
Costa for the PAT, and Ole Miss scores a touchdown for the first time since the first quarter, and the lead is back to 9. Snoop Connor, fresh legs, and you can see the frustration. Calzada and his receiver Dimas. Sistrunk takes it away. Connor finds the end zone. Goodyear with the aerial coverage, with you for every mile on the road to greatness. Goodyear, more driven. 32 degrees, Kirk. We reached the freezing point here in Oxford, Mississippi. A very chilly Saturday night. The stadium had gone kind of cold and quiet. Aggies had roared back until Sistrunk rips the ball away for an interception. Barreling in is Snoop Connor for a touchdown. Now the lead is 9, 6.5 to go, and all of a sudden A&M offense will have to play with some urgency. That penalty moved the ball to the 35.
Bill, let's go back and look at this interception. You had some interesting thoughts on this.
Yeah, if the ruling on the field would have been a simultaneous catch, the ball would belong to the offense. But on this play here,
it looks like
Ole Miss player looks like they have control of it first, and number 1 from Texas A&M's trying to rip it away.
Yeah.
So I totally support the call.
And then they all of a sudden they couldn't run the football in the red zone. What's going on? What's wrong with this offense? And like you said, blink of an eye, safeties, linebackers out of position, and the big fella takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. Snoop Connor.
You know, sudden change defense has been a real strength for the Aggies. Those are the first points given up this year off of one of their own turnovers. It's the 14th turnover. First time opponents got points off of it.
2-possession game.
Should say touchdown off of it.
Urgency now from Zach Calzada as a young quarterback.
They can't play slow. Get the ball to Spiller in the flat. He's got a couple of blockers, but the Rebels pursue and knock him down right at the line of scrimmage. Where Leonard's been active tonight. It's Trey Washington who's filling in for Springer, who was ejected for targeting.
And DJ Durkin, a defense coordinator from Ole Miss, all night he's been worried about the run game. Now he's got to worry about the pass game. And when they think about the pass game, it's rushing 3, dropping 8, playing a lot of zone, and keeping everything in front of them. Don't want to give up an explosive.
Calzada. There's a whistle and a flag down. Not an offense that's produced a ton of explosive plays or a ton of lightning quick drives, that's for sure. Cougars and the Ducks coming up next on ESPN. Like Weidermeyer may have been guilty of jumping there.
Number 85 on the offense.
Quick cut check in with Matt Berry. That's been a wild day in the Big 12. Oklahoma going down earlier. Texas Tech over Iowa State. Calzada tries to buy time, checks it down to Spiller, who scoots out of bounds at the 36 to stop the clock.
This is not A&M's wheelhouse. You know, not just a quarterback who's still growing as a young player, but the wide receivers. You know, it's been an area where they've had a lot of injuries over this year. Anaya Smith is a great player. They got to try to get him the ball in space. Their best threat is probably the tight end, Weidermeyer, 85. Demas has the capability. 81 Chapman can make plays downfield, but they've got to get the ball downfield.
Down 9 inside of 5 minutes by the time they run this play. They have 2 plays to get the 10 yards, you'd think. Here comes pressure. Calzada steps up and delivers a throw. It's picked off. Picked off by Finley. A.J. Finley down the sidelines. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Pick 6 should put this away. What a defensive performance. This stadium has come unhinged with that play by Finley. Picks on back-to-back possessions, Kirk, when A&M was only down 2 and had all the momentum.
How fitting for DJ Durkin's bunch with the way they played most of the evening. This is a late throw behind the receiver that allows Finley to step in front of it. This is part of growing up for a young quarterback playing on the road in the SEC.
A.J. Finley had a couple of picks against Liberty last week. That's what you call being on a roll, break up the chain. And the story of this game tonight, this frigid night in Oxford, has been the embattled Ole Miss defense coming up huge.
Well, again, he's waiting and waiting. He's got time in the pocket, but he's waiting until he finally feels that Smith is going to get separation to the outside. See, the ball's late, thrown late, and behind his receiver who's on an out cut. It's a no-no, obviously. And Finley takes advantage of it and makes Calzada pay for it.
Finley, the junior free safety out of Mobile. He's grown, he's improved. He's one of those guys who just got better and better as the season's gone on. And the last couple of weeks, just monster playmaking.
Yeah, best couple of games he's probably played in his entire career, and it continues. How about that? That's a dream for a safety. Like Kiffin fired up. But yeah, he just kind of read the eyes of Calzada, who was staring down Anaya Smith and waiting, and then he just stepped in front.
It's a 52-yard return to the house, Holly.
You saw the turnover chain that they put on. Well, the circle that's silver is actually the jaws of a shark. It's really cool when you come out of the field onto the through the tunnel for Ole Miss. It is all shark footage. It is like an aquarium coming out onto the field. That land shark defense, they are putting in some pretty big bites, and that might be a kill shot right there.
We haven't heard much about the land sharks because the defense hasn't worn it a nickname. Let's be honest. But
it's been a long time.
They have come up huge. Hooch kick. Trying to make something on the return is Preston, and he's knocked down inside of 5 minutes, and suddenly it is a 16-point game. Still a 2-score game. But Oregon trying to preserve their top 4 ranking with Wazoo coming up next.
Ohio State got back into gear. Cincinnati last night was okay, not dominant. Boy, Michigan made a statement with a win on the road against Penn State. Michigan State and Ohio State play next Saturday. You and I will be there to call that game on ABC at noon. Look forward to that. Game day will be there as well. You can see the loss there by Oklahoma, one of the shockers of the day in Waco.
Yeah, unless the Ducks do stumble, you don't really see the need for much of a change in the top 4. Let's look at the Ole Miss key plays. This was the pick moments ago. Sistrunk just ripping the ball into Demas's arms, and then Snoop working his way into the end zone.
A couple plays later, they're in the end zone, and then the big pick 6, ball thrown again late behind the intended receiver, Anaya Smith, and Finley with a nice job of reading it, read the eyes, and becomes a hero on the sideline.
The shark jaws that Holly was talking about.
Pretty good.
You got to add something, kind of local flavor if you're going to have a turnover change. It's been done, frankly, but the shark jaws is nice. You can see Corral get excited there. Just an electric start to the quarterback for this offense. Then they really kind of lost their rhythm for a while. That touchdown by Connor, the first touchdown they had since the first quarter.
No, this game
with the house call.
Game was trending for Texas A&M. I mean, this thing was going in a direction that Jimbo Fisher wanted to see.
It's Jordan Jernigan, a backup wide receiver on the special teams, and finally being helped to his feet. Now, if you're Jimbo Fisher and Calzada on this offense, you're thinking it's still 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions, but we got to do something quickly downfield. Calzada's got to shake off the fact that he's thrown 2 picks in his last 4 passes. A loss for the Aggies. pretty much takes them out of contention. Again, they were very much in it. Just needed an Alabama loss if they had been able to win this one and then win at LSU. Desperation time. Rebels rushing 3. Calzada against 8 in coverage, delivers a nice dart, strong arm throw across the middle to Anias Smith, who's quickly into Rebels territory.
Gives you an idea of his arm strength. I mean, he threw that on a line at about 30 yards from where he was in that pocket.
He's got arm velocity, middle 50s, Kirk, with the speed of the football. That is elite.
Tight spiral too. Again, look at him dropping 8 in coverage, 3 deep, 5 under.
And runs parallel to the line of scrimmage, delivers down to the 20-yard line to Smith again, and Texas A&M still a flicker of hope here, threatening quickly.
Did a good job with his eyes downfield. Receivers working as he scrambles, just trying to find an open spot in that zone with those 8 defenders in coverage.
At 49 yards combined in those last 2 plays. From the 20, Calzada backpedals across the middle. And bracketed coverage there on Weidemeyer. They've tried to take him out of play in the red zone tonight.
In red zone, he's bracketed. He's got Otis Reese to the inside. You got another safety to the outside. Taking him away, it was Trey Washington working to the outside. They're basically saying, all right, Calzada, you're going to find someone else. We're not going to let you have that one-on-one matchup. They went man-to-man across the board, except on the tight end, where they basically double-team him with the bracket. Bracket meaning if he cuts outside, one guy has him, cuts to the inside defender has him.
Cougars and Ducks beginning on ESPN News. We'll have it here on ESPN at the conclusion of this one. Calzada running around, backpedaling, trying to make something happen, and delivers a strike. Catch made down near the 12-yard line there by Weidemeyer. It's 3rd down now.
Great effort, obviously, by Calzada to keep that play alive, but the big tight end, Weidemeyer, good instincts to work back. He was all the way in the end zone. He came all the way back, trying to connect his eyes to his quarterback. We've got another Ole Miss defender down. Looks like the corner this time, DeAndre Prince.
Grabbing his calf.
Watch Weidemeyer, where he ends up on his route. It's kind of downfield. You see the quarterback's just running for his life. Weidermeyer's now in the end zone, right at the goal line, recognizes that and says, okay, I'm going to help him come back to the quarterback and give him a target, separating that time from Otis Reese.
Interesting. Calzada, he actually ran backwards 8 yards. He retreated that far to try to buy some space and time. And Weidemeyer slides down. Holly?
Well, you can see the flashes of brilliance from Weidemeyer, such a terrific tight end that was highly recruited. And I actually talked to him this week about why he chose A&M as a 4-star recruit. He said, Jimbo Fisher had a great reputation for how he used the tight end. I actually talked to his great tight end from Florida State, Nick O'Leary, and he gave me a very good job recommendation for Jimbo Fisher. He said, I caught 114 balls in my career, made it to the NFL, and he said that was all I needed as a recommendation. He went with Jimbo Fisher, and he's turning into a really nice tight end for the Aggies.
That's what tight end recruits do. You definitely look around the country and see what coaches have a history of using guys and putting guys in the league. And Fisher does.
And you said in the NFL, that position's becoming more and more a commodity.
Sometimes they're the key pass catcher on a team,
especially in the red zone. You know, every team that's a playoff contender seems to have a tight end that's a matchup problem for a defense.
3rd and 3 for the Aggies. It's Weidemeyer going in motion. A-Chain makes a cut and dives down, 1st and goal inside the 5.
Another good call. Stop the clock there with a 1st down. Now, like to see Calzada get up quick. Every second is precious when you're Texas A&M trying to get back into this.
Well, and they're trying to go in fast there.
They weren't even lined up, I don't think, on the left side there.
Geez, you know, we understand the importance of tempo. You want to get the defense confused, but so many times you see a false start.
58 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
It's tempo trumping execution a lot of times. I guess you'll take the occasional 5-yard penalty, but when it happens inside the 5-yard line.
And it's not necessarily their wheelhouse. You know, tempo, the way Ole Miss, they'd prefer that fast tempo.
Jimbo, by the way, we're talking about 2-point plays, and the need to practice more of them in these multiple overtime games. He reminded me, he was in a 7 overtime game one time. They practice a lot. They're going to need a 2-point play or two.
Calzada doesn't realize that game clock is running. They wasted 10 seconds there.
A-Chain has space, stiff arm, touchdown. And now we'll see one of those 2-point plays as they have cut the lead to 10 here with 3:11 to go.
Good block that time by, again, the receiver. They've all been blocking very well tonight. Damon Demas helps the running back eventually get into the end zone. A-Chain has ended up having a pretty good night running the football now.
This is absolutely crucial, though. They've got to cut this lead to 8. We'll see what he's got called here. Says they work on a lot of these. Well, Ole Miss a little confused.
The matchup problem is here with the tight end.
I think Ole Miss. Yeah, that's a good use of a timeout. Their defense, Kirk, wasn't really set up for that. Take a look at A-Chain kind of working his way for his second touchdown run tonight.
Go back to this. Just anytime you see receivers blocking, you like to see that. I love that Jimbo's not just he's not panicking. Even though he's down 16, he's got to throw the ball. He's trying to keep the clock where he has a chance, but trust his running game. A back who's averaging 9 yards a carry, and the receiver that time, Smith, helps him out, or Demas rather, helps him out.
Touchdown, though, doesn't mean a lot, again, unless they can get this 2-point play and cut it to 8. So
yeah, you got 2 timeouts. You hit this 2-pointer, and you're saying there's a chance, you know?
Yeah. But if they don't, it's a 10-point game.
Yeah,
and so what he's going to do here, talking to Demas.
This is what Jimbo prides himself on. The strategy of a game, late in the game.
That's why I was laughing. He assured me that he's got as many 2-point plays as anybody on the planet ready for this situation. So a lot of them to sort through. They've repped a lot of these, he says.
And sometimes you go away from the obvious. The Weidermeyer, use him as a decoy, maybe go another route.
Only the third one they've tried this year. They're 1 for 2. Smith has caught one. Crucial to cut it to 8. A-Chain in motion. Calzada straight back across the middle, batted in the air, and no good. Mark Robinson got a hand on it. Another big play for this Rebels defense, and the lead still 10.
Well, I thought they might use him as a decoy, but instead they did go to Weidermeyer. That's who he was looking to get matched up, and he was one-on-one. Trying to get separation from Finley, but the ball batted at the line of scrimmage. See the corner, Leonard trying to come over to help him. He was staring him down the whole time, and a really good job of elevating and knocking that ball down.
Mark Robinson, just one of the unsung guys on this defense. The 3 linebackers are the 3 top tacklers on the team. Robinson second only to Chance Campbell. You said he had single coverage, but they certainly had plenty of eyes in the area that Weidermeyer was.
Yeah, he had one coverage at Finley, and then as the ball was thrown, Leonard came over from the other side, but Mark Robinson making it null and void.
So at a 10-point game, you think an onside kick right here. Let's check in quickly with Matt Berry. Be a fun part of our post game here. Keep an eye on the Ducks.
Yeah.
The Cougs coming up. So 2 different kickers in there. They'll try for some deception. It's Caden Davis on the small. They get the kangaroo hop. The ball right near the sideline. A flag comes down. That got the perfect hop, and it got past that hands team. So Keith Brown, the wide receiver, trying to get near it. There was a flag on the play, and it's going to be Ole Miss football.
Illegal kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the spot where it went out of bounds. First down, Ole Miss.
That took the hop you dream about.
It sure did.
It took the hop that you're saying. It bounces once, and then the second hop, it goes up in the air right there. That's what you'd love to see your guy catch it on a fly instead of having to try to go down there and make a miraculous play. But
that second bounce needed it to come back to him, and it bounced the other direction.
Yep. But the big hop is where you'd like to see him get down, get underneath it.
Look out, Snoop Connor barrels ahead, and Ole Miss will get a precious first down as he tried to just bleed the clock out.
Is Lane and Jeff Levy capable of slowing down the tempo? Are they capable of just, all right, Matt, let's just catch your breath.
One would think so, Kirk, at this point. One would think so.
I mean, they're at 89 snaps.
What does the manual say about that? What do the analytics say? They say use the clock, right?
Yeah, I think we can slow it down here. You can still go fast huddle and go quick at the line of scrimmage, but just eat that clock.
Well, they do a little sugar huddle, break it quickly here, and they do use all of the play clock. Corral keeps it and just slides down after picking up about 6 or 7. Aggies with 2 timeouts to use here, but 2 scores down.
Looks like they're going to use one of them right here.
It's been an eventful game. I mean, Kiffin's offense, Corral, they come out with tremendous rhythm, playing at NASCAR speed. They absolutely dominate the first half. I mean, statistically, Kiffin's right, it could have been 30-0. Aggies hang around, get within 2 before there's 2 interceptions.
Really, just an incredible effort by both teams. It looked like Ole Miss was going to run them out, like you said. But A&M's defense did just enough to keep them in. And then finally the halftime adjustments, which what really Jimbo Fisher has been known for over the years. He got his team in a position to look like they had the momentum, maybe a chance to get even and maybe pull out in front. But it's Ole Miss's night. You know, the defense made the plays late, came up with that pick 6, and that was really it.
Yeah, it was Sistrunk who ripped the ball away from Demas. That first pick. Connor scores very quickly, and then the 52-yard pick 6 by Finley. Aggies still fighting back. Second touchdown from A-Chain, but that 2-point conversion was so desperate. You get that, you don't have to onside kick. You can kick it deep, try to play defense. The Rebels just need to execute smartly and get out of here with the win that will knock the Aggies pretty much out of contention in the SEC West. And get Ole Miss to 8-2. There's a lot of traffic and a lot of fancy ball handling in the backfield, but Corral ends up just keeping the ball and wrapped up by Richardson for a loss.
Talk about Ole Miss moving to 8-2. They've got Vanderbilt left, and then the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State. I mean, there's a very strong chance they're going to be in consideration for a New Year's 6 bowl game. What a year for Lane Kiffin.
Absolutely.
Think about that.
It's been a while since they've won a bowl game, but to get to 10 wins, they're asking us, do you think the Sugar Bowl would take us? Would we have a chance? Well, it depends on how the SEC sorts out, but yeah, they'd be in the mix.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you get to 10-2 with the injuries that they've had to deal with, especially at quarterback and receiver. It'd be an incredible year.
And the next True South episode comes to you from Mobile Bay. Get a little flounder and shrimp for breakfast. Try some Bushwhackers at Pirates Cove tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern time. Kirk, what about Matt Corral tonight? We talked about how open the Heisman race was. You know, Caleb Williams of Oklahoma struggling. They lose today. You know, Corral, his production's been limited by the injuries, but he comes out tonight, you know, throws for 247 and a touchdown. Wasn't his usual threat running the ball. Maybe he didn't have the Heisman moment tonight, but he's still in the mix.
He's in the mix. I don't think anybody's really having a Heisman moment other than Kenneth Walker when Michigan State played Michigan. It was a lot of buzz after the 5-touchdown performance in East Lansing and the Spartans came back, but it's why I've never seen it. You're the expert with the Heisman. I've never seen it so wide open with 3 weeks to play.
I think any of these 4 guys you talked about, these guys.
Anybody gets hot, right?
Right, exactly. You could make a stretch run.
Need a good opponent, big stage, get hot, have a big day. You're going to steal the hearts of a lot of voters.
Meanwhile, guys like this, of course, Heisman finalists all make the trip to New York, a brand new location for the award. Nice to have it back after a virtual Heisman a year ago. And Devontae Smith, who, of course, won it but couldn't accept it in New York, is going to be on hand for that. That's pretty cool. They have a bye week.
I didn't know that.
They have a bye week, and he's going to be able to be there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's pretty cool.
Good for him. Yeah, he had a decent year. You know, when we got to middle November of 2020, we kind of were like, okay, it's pretty much his award. It's the opposite this year. Guys are having solid years, but.
And I'll never forget you following up the Heisman with that performance in the championship game against Ohio State. Before he got injured and couldn't play the second half, he was going to have, he did have a night to remember, but it was going to be unbelievable. He might have had 30 catches.
Yeah.
He hadn't gone out hurt in that game.
Yeah, but it really is. It's going to come down to whoever has a great opponent on a big stage, and they put maybe have a couple moments within that game.
Brown to punt it away here, and too much on that one. Bounces in the end zone.
We had college game day this morning, and of course it brought me back to thinking about 2014. We were here.
That's a good You got to get it tiny, y'all.
Are we sure that's a wig?
Oh, wow.
I'd say I never had a more enjoyable 3 hours doing the show and 25 years doing it than we were here in 2014. It was fun. Nice scene out there today for the second game day from the Grove.
Unlike any other show, right? I mean, the setting there and the tents, and very cool.
It was neat to participate, I have to say. won't be the last time.
I bet.
So minute 24, Aggies needing a miracle at this point. Rebels figure to drop back and give up the short gain. Calzada backpedals, and it's an incompletion. Tried to find Spiller crossing. Not what they were looking for.
Well, I just want to say this about Zach Calzada. He's a young guy. If you're an A&M fan, you've got a great quarterback here who's going to have a bright future. In the world that we live in today with Haynes King out there, who's an incredible talent. Guy that can throw it, he can run. They say he runs a 4.4 to go along with a big arm. That'll be an interesting battle when he gets healthy in the spring. But this guy is just going to continue. He's learning every rep as a young guy.
Fires underneath. Chapman makes the catch. King, by the way, broke his tibia down near the ankle against Colorado in that game. They figure he could be rehabbed by middle December. Jimbo said potential to kind of get back and do some throwing. I don't know if that means you'd be considering using him at the end of the season.
No,
you're right, it's more about next spring.
Especially after tonight, you just like to see him get 100% healthy and let these guys battle it out in the spring.
Alzada, a long throw, looking for Chapman, broken up nicely. This Ole Miss defense came in with a chip. They really did. I mean, statistically, very, very poor against the run. Held up tonight against this Aggie running game. Couple of late picks. They collectively, that's the story tonight.
Yeah,
Oxford.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fourth and 2 here. Whistle before it. Timeout taken by Ole Miss. DJ Durkin, his defensive coordinator. Not easy to be a defensive coordinator or a defensive player with this kind of offensive system. I mean, Ole Miss, plays so fast. So, as a defense, you're going to be on the field a lot more than most defenses. It's kind of tough to practice against an offense like the Aggies when you see that in practice every day.
That's why I think a lot of people look at this system and they wonder, is that a fit for us because of what it can do to your own defense? But we see Tennessee running this offense with Josh Heupel. We're seeing Arkansas. So you have 3 different offenses that are running essentially what Baylor ran when Art Briles and the Bears were beating a lot of people. And it's tough to stop. When it's going, it's really tough to stop. What's unique about this one is the mobility of Matt Corral, the creativity added on to every other aspect of that offense.
Right, because stuff outside of the structure of the offense is just him sprinting down the field.
And the structure is hard enough, right, to defend. With the tempo and the RPO and the way they spread you all over the field. Then you got to throw in QB scramble.
Aggies need 2 here. Keep the football. Calzada backpedaling, and he'll go down. Tavius Robinson, a backup tackle, punctuates this defensive performance with a sack.
Well, again, that's rushing 3 and getting home. DJ Durkin told us, I got guys that can win one-on-one. Closest to you at the bottom. What hands? Goes right by Jameer Johnson. The Tennessee Vol transfer is in there at left tackle this year.
It's been some fresh legs here. We talked about Sistrunk, who's a backup.
Yeah.
Robinson's a backup. Adams had the ball a lot after halftime, and they've had to dig deep and go to some backups. It's been the fresh guys doing it.
Keeping those legs fresh. And Lane Kiffin, I haven't seen him that fired up in a while, man. He is very excited, and he should be. Great performance and a great way to end the night for their defense.
If you have a scorecard for his picks on College Game Day, he's going to get this one right. He did pick Ole Miss to win. Do we know what Lane's one loss is?
He picked a bunch. He did. The one that he took a chance on was Tennessee. He took a chance there, but
that made me smile.
Yeah, of course.
Picking his former school.
It's first time ever, by the way, a coach that is coaching that day was our celebrity guest picker.
Because who else would do it but this guy?
I know. You got to love it.
That's it. It's a hard-fought victory for Ole Miss. Get out to a 15-0 lead. It was cut to 2. 2 late interceptions are important, and the Rebels go to 8-2. Aggies drop to 7-3 and drop out of contention. Pretty much gives Alabama the SEC West, which is going to surprise nobody. But the Rebels still in play for a 10-win regular season and a really nice bowl. 29-19 is the final here. Fun day in Oxford. Bill Bennell produced the game. Derek Mobley directed it. Thanks to our entire crew. For Kurt and Holly, I'm Chris Fowler saying goodbye from Oxford. Now out to Dave Fleming in Eugene. The Cougars and the Ducks up right now.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference.
Get in here together. You guys do it.